Welcome to the Flag Report. Today we're sitting down with somebody who is a five-time NFL flag national champion, two-time SHS world champion, two-time iFlag, formerly USA flag, formerly FFWCT champion, and a three-time Zorts national champion. Joe Tags, welcome to the show.
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
You have an impressive resume, obviously. You're one of the top. What do we call you? Do we call you a GM? Do we call you a coach? What is
Just a little
your
bit of
role?
everything, like a utility knife.
You could do it all, and you're
Do it
very
all, whatever
successful
I
at
need
what
to
you
do.
do. You're very successful at what you do, obviously. So I want to start at the beginning, before THT was a brand, before the jerseys, before the national presidents. Who was Joe Tags, and how did flag football enter your life?
So I'm going to say in 2002, I got introduced into flag football in like the adult world and the 9-man flag football. And that's really where I got involved in the nationals and the regionals. And we were just a team out of Manalapan, New Jersey. I went to a couple tournaments. We went to Florida 4 years in a row before we even scored a touchdown. And then we ended up winning 2 national championships in 9-man and a couple in 5-man. So I came from the adult world and then transitioned into the youth.
I believe you won a big tournament as well, right? You were on TV, something with
Yeah, I
there
used
was
to
like a big
coach
prize.
after my 9-man days of playing and then coaching. We were in that A7FL when we played against the pros for the $1 million. And that was probably the best tournament I've ever been a part of until Oakley came along.
What were you involved in football growing up? Was that something that was part of your life?
I was like nothing crazy. Like I played just, for fun, nothing crazy. I never heard a flag until I was 22, 23 years old.
Yeah, it wasn't very big up here a
No, I
long
don't even
time
think it was
ago.
a thing
Yeah.
until like 2000, like for the kids for a while. Yeah, I never heard of it.
17, 18 was when it came out.
Yeah.
What about your relationship with Brandon? I know Brandon is a big part of what you guys do over there at THD. He's one of the founders. How did you meet him?
So we're in the same industry. I'm going to say I met Brandon like 15 years ago, no, maybe 12 years ago in a real estate office. And we became really close friends, and the rest is history.
You guys did some great things in the professional world, obviously, and in the flag football world as well. What made you compatible with Brandon, and what made Brandon trust you to go on this journey?
So when we first met, I was still playing and Fox was playing, and he's like, "Oh, I play in this league in Brooklyn. We're going to play some rough touch football." We ended up playing. We ended up joining the 9/11 league or the next level, whatever it was. And then I went, his daughter was playing with SIG at the time, his older daughter, Aaliyah. And he's like, "Could you get Izzy on the team?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sure I know somebody that has a team." So I called Jay Milley from We Different because I know him forever. And Izzy ended up playing with We Different when they were like 6 or 7. So that was probably 7 years ago. And they ended up doing really well in Florida. And that's kind of how THT started. And then COVID came and we were all ready to go. And then COVID came. So we kind of went on pause. And then we started with just 2 teams. And then the rest just kind of blew up like crazy.
Yeah, especially during that COVID time. I've had a couple of conversations with different people, and the consensus has been COVID kind of really kicked off flag, especially in New York, because
Yeah,
New
because you're
York
able
was
to play
shut down.
outside.
Exactly. New York was shut down. So the only way to play flag was to go to other states. And that kind of was the spark for
Actually,
travel.
during COVID, we actually went to Miami and we ended up
I
playing
remember that.
in a red zone tournament at 8U. And we had a really good time. We went there and it was like a hurricane. And I'm like, "You can't cancel this tournament." Flew here. So we had like a 3-hour rain delay and we ended up playing the tournament. It was a really good time with Lewis from Red Zone.
That was during COVID was when you won that original iFlag USA flag
Yeah,
tournament years ago, right?
we went to Panama City, Florida in the middle of January. Definitely not the most appealing place to be in the United States in the middle of January. And we went out there. We played at like a little league field. That was when I was introduced to shrooms for the first time. But we went to pool play and we went 0-3 in pool play. And we ended up winning the whole thing with the 8U boys. And then obviously the girls won both divisions.
I remember that was a big thing back then. To have that big win, because Staten Island, it was on the map a little bit with SIG, but
Of course.
now to have another team to put
Well, they really
recognition.
laid the foundation and started it for the girls' flag on the travel world.
Yeah, they were one of the first big programs out there. Now, what were those early conversations like? What was the original goal of THT?
To have a place for Brandon's kids to play.
Straight to the point. Was there
To the
something
point,
that
like,
you
it was just something for fun. Like, I don't want to do the adult anymore, drive guys to practice. This is nonsense. I'd rather put my effort into the kids.
was there something that you said you need to do to separate yourself from everybody else in the beginning?
Not really. We just wanted to just give the kids a great experience. Life's all about experiences. People remember experiences. And that was our goal, just have a good time and have fun. And that's what we did. I think we brought a really good atmosphere over and, we changed the dynamic. I think we operate a little different than other organizations. And it's just like a family feel, like our team that has won all those championships. I think I have 9 of the 10 still here.
I say that to people often actually when people ask why THT is so good. I say you could pull up a picture of their 8U team from 4 years ago, and then you could see 9 out of 10 of those girls on the 17U team now. You can't there's no shortcut to playing together for 4 years.
No,
There's
but I
nothing you
think
can do.
those days are gone. People leave you for a cheeseburger and a pair of slides now. That's just where we're at, like, the loyalty is not there. I don't think any of my older kids would ever leave, but the younger ones is very different world, like, people are playing on 100 different teams. The game changed a lot.
I think that's why SIG was so successful in the beginning and why you guys have a lot of success at the same age groups as they move up is because you have that same group of girls going through all the age groups, just like SIG did when they
And
had
I
that
don't think you're gonna
super
see that
team.
anymore. Like, those days are gone.
Yeah. You
Maybe the
don't really
only
see
one
that
that
at
will
all.
stay, and they didn't even is Neffel. They have a great little core. But other than that, like, I don't know, like, the way these team people are just jumping around, people are chasing rings. It's just so different.
It's very different. Speaking of building THT, we have some breaking news. Apparently, THT has gone international. I hear there's a THT Panama now. Can you confirm the rumors?
Yeah,
Explain how
so,
that came about.
some guy's been reaching out to me for a long time, and he wanted to, come under our umbrella, and we're working out the final stages, and we're gonna have a 14U girls team in Panama that's gonna be Panama THT, and just kinda do their own thing under our umbrella. They're gonna fly us out there to go speak with them and get them on the map, and that's great that we're growing the game on an international level.
That puts you in a whole nother stratosphere as opposed to just being a regional or a national team. Now you're an international team with ties to other places. It gives a lot of opportunities
And I
for
think
your
once this
kids.
hits the Olympics, you're gonna see more of that, from other organizations.
Absolutely. I think the reach is going to go, dramatically further once the Olympics happens. Now, let's switch gears a little bit. So, let's talk about a big proponent of travel. How do you handle parents? What
Oh,
is your philosophy on handling parents? And how do you handle parents that are win at all cost parents?
it's not easy. Again, our core group, never had an issue with any of them. Not really have issues. It's just like this, this isn't for everybody right now. The game has changed so much that I don't think everybody is a travel football player, but everybody wants the experience, which is fine. I get it. And until football adapts what baseball is doing, where you could enter your level of skill, like you enter A, B, or C. And right now, there's kids that never played football before going to an FFL tournament and they're going to play Knights, SAG, and THT. They're never going to come back.
Yeah,
So they
that's a
have
big
to
problem.
that's a huge problem right now, and they need to figure out how to fix that, and then you could really grow the game. But parents are, it's tough. Like, some of these parents are really hard on their kids, which I get, and some of the parents want it more than the kids, and that's really what it comes down to. The parents want to play football more than the kids want to play football.
How do you handle that conversation with the parents? Is there there's no easy way to do it, obviously. What is your method to handle
Well, I
those
try not to
conversations?
meddle in any of the teams anymore. Like, I just kind of focus on the little group that I'm in. I'm not going to tell my coaches who's on their roster, who's playing. Like, me and Brandon aren't going to do that. Like, you're putting in all this time, this effort. I'll make a suggestion if it comes about, or Brandon will make a suggestion, but I'm not going to tell somebody how to run their team. They're donating their time, their energy, taking time away from their family to go coach. So I'm never going to really meddle in that. I'll step in when I have to. But, a lot of people are stuck on the rec world with just because they signed up, they think they deserve equal playing time. And unfortunately, it's not like that. You have to earn it. Like, is there favoritism on some teams? Of course. Is there daddy ball? Of course. You're never gonna. That's never gonna go away.
Yeah,
But
there's nothing you can do about that.
there's nothing you can do about it. Every sport has it. But it's just the parents are hard. But if you're transparent, I think it's a little easier. Just letting them know, hey, maybe little Johnny shouldn't come on this trip because he's not going to play that much. Don't book a flight. Don't book a hotel. But it's hard. You have to be transparent. You can't lie to these people and put them in a bad situation.
No, that's definitely an important thing. I know a lot of people are struggling with that is how to talk to these kids, how to talk to these parents and let them know because you want to try to get as many kids opportunities as possible. But like you said, it's not for everybody. And we need
Like,
to
and then
get
the
back
other
to
thing,
that.
for example, like we spoke on the phone the other day, you go to a tournament, and if you go 1-1, you're in the B division. Like, I'm not going to tournaments to be in the B division. So but you want to get kids involved, but you can't put certain kids in the game because one touchdown, you might go 1-1 and end up in the C division. So it's tough to get kids involved. When there's 3 pool play games, it's a little easier to work kids in because if you lose one, you can still go 2-1. You're pretty much guaranteed to go in. So I think once they separate the talent and do A, B, and C, I think that flag football will grow even more. FFL obviously is the cream of the crop. And there's you're doing tournaments, I'm doing small tournaments. Like, just try to get people some work, and I think that's helping the game for sure. Because I have some teams that I don't think belong at an FFL tournament. Just to be completely honest with you, and they need to go to those beginner tournaments. Like GVOC does a good job. stuff like that, and just get work and still get that travel feel.
Like you said, it is important to be able to separate the talent levels so that way your lower teams can grow
Like if
and
you
not
play
just go to tournaments and
USABL,
get smashed.
USABL is a very high level travel baseball organization. So when you go to a USABL tournament, you're going to rank your team from 1 to 5. And if you're a 4, you're going to play other 4s. If you're a 1, you're going to play other 1s. And then once you win that area, you need to move up.
Now, do you think we can trust? I feel like a lot of that is built on trust. Do you think we can trust coaches to accurately rank their teams,
Well, they
or
they
do you
can
think
only
we'll get
they can
teams that
only
don't
screw
do
you
that?
once, right? If they come once and they mercy everybody, that's their last shot. You're done. Now you move up. So it's not like it's going to
Yeah.
win the game. It's just going to be one tournament, and then hey, we're not going to tolerate this.
And then after a while, I think you'll kind of be able to sort everybody based on their talent level.
And I think you need to like certain players. You need to flag like, hey, like the Twins, you're not playing in the B division. You're too good. Like stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like you got to play
yeah.
A only. But if you play 14U and you're a 12U, you can do whatever you want. But in your age, you only could play A.
Yeah, I think once you're in that bracket, like once you go from C to B, and now you're a B team. Every player on that team needs to be locked into the B division.
Yeah.
They can't go play back down. They have to play in the B division. So I think the players there needs to be a system to flag the players, so the players are locked into whatever skill level their team is. Because if you're good enough to be on a B team because you won the C bracket, you shouldn't be playing C teams.
No.
You should be on that
And
B
and
in
then
that
there's
B
like
level.
in Staten Island, obviously you live in Staten Island, there's a lot of really good softball leagues. There's certain
Very
pitchers
good.
that when you sign up for a league, John cannot pitch in this division. And there should be the same thing in flag. Like, all right, listen, Emily can never play in the B division in 17 years, like stuff like that. And if you do that, like Emily would never play in the B division. But I'm just saying, like, as an example, you need to make sure that you're playing where you belong.
Yeah, and I think that is super important. That's something that would help grow the game, and I think coaches need to understand that it's gonna take a little bit of time to get the system right because there are gonna be teams who try to sandbag and try to play down, and they'll get caught after a tournament, but don't get discouraged if that happens in the beginning. You go in and you choose B because you accurately rank your team, and somebody else says they're a B team and they're not,
Yep.
because it's only gonna work out for one tournament, so they
Like,
gotta
so when
trust
I
that.
was in the men's league, in the men's world, you could play B all year, but if you win B nationals, you're done. Like you're with the big boys now. And that's fair. Like then, they move up and whatever. So I think it needs to be the same way. Once you win, like that's why I love We Run the World, because you predetermine I want to go in A. Like if you go in A, you could still end up in B. If you go in B, you could end up in C, D. What I'm talking. So
Yeah.
but at least you're in the top tier.
Yeah, I think the only thing that needs to change with that system is exactly like you said. Once you win the lower bracket, you should have to move up to the next bracket. Because we both know that there are teams that avoid Top Gun and go to the next bracket, and they should be in Top Gun,
And they
and
still
they
don't
win
win.
that second.
And they still don't win.
Some of them don't win, which is hilarious, but some of them they do win, and they should be in the A bracket playing teams like your team or my team, which always sign up for A, and they play in the B or the C bracket to go and win it.
And don't get
I
me wrong,
think
I
once
have B teams, I have C teams, I may even have a D team. So I'm all about putting you where you belong. You want these kids to get better. My goal for like THT White, for example, who's a 17U team, is to get them off that team and to move them up to blue or yellow. And a couple players we do move up, and then people have basketball. And I'm not one of these. Well, we're not one of these organizations where we're going to say you can't play basketball, you can't play baseball. Never in a million years will I tell somebody they can't play another sport. That's stupid. These kids
I
need to
think
play
playing
every
another
single
sport
sport.
makes them so much more developed. You get so many skills that you don't get just from flag, from basketball and from softball and from all these other.
Like we don't practice. Like to be completely, we don't practice at all. We practice once a week, and it's more of a TikTok session than a practice. So like these kids are all active. They're playing basketball. They're playing football. Playing soccer. They're running track. Like what are we going to do in an hour practice? What are we really going to accomplish in an hour practice? Nothing. You're not going to get better unless you practice 5 days a week. Like with
Yeah,
a high school thing. That's why in high school these girls are different because there's accountability. You come to our tournament and you do something stupid, I'm not going to see you for 4 weeks. I already forgot about it. So
yeah.
there's no accountability in club sports.
It's very difficult. Like you said, when you in the high school sport, it's a completely different setting. And in high school sports too, if you look at some of the really good high schools like in Florida, you don't play for 1 or 2 seasons, let's say. It's not like you just join a team and then you play and then I don't play on THT. I'll go play at this other club and I'll go play over there. You can't just transfer schools. You have to grind it out, and that's why those girls are killers when they come out.
Yeah, and they also get to play all year. They're in warm weather. It's hard to compete with the South.
Same thing like tackle. I mean, that's why Florida, Texas, California are really good in tackle as opposed to the colder states is because they play all year.
Yeah. Like, we can't practice today outside. You'd have to be crazy.
No, it's 15 degrees outside.
I saw Mike's outside, though. I saw his Instagram. They're out there.
I was about to say, I just
Yeah,
saw a
yeah.
live where
Yeah,
SIG's out there.
that's one thing I'll say about them. They practice. They're dedicated. They're very united. Like, that's very impressive. I can't get our organization to do that. I'm not even gonna lie. So God bless them for that.
It's a very unique culture that you have to build from the beginning to do that. But Mike loves practicing. He's out there himself, so that's he's the one that's driving
Like, we
that.
have indoor practice, and I canceled it tonight because it was too cold.
You didn't feel like driving over there?
Yeah, exactly. But again, if these girls are doing what they have to do during the week, like, who cares if they come to practice? Like the little kids need practice, but you're 14, you're an athlete. Like Emily, Ava, they're working out all the time. Like, I don't care if they go to
They're
practice.
playing other sports. They're working out
Exactly.
3-4 days a week. It's not going to affect. I mean, obviously, it doesn't affect you that much. You've got a million.
Yeah.
You win almost every tournament now.
Like, for example, for Oakley, like, Brandon jumped off an airplane, pulled up, and we won 6-1. These teams are practicing. We did nothing. We printed plays out the night before, and we showed up and we dominated.
And your quarterback was sick, right? They had the flu
Yeah,
or
I was
something.
shoving NyQuil down her throat on the sideline.
I heard people are calling it the flu game, the flu
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah, the Jordan flu game.
She's unbelievable, Emily.
Yeah,
Right?
she's fun to watch. She's, again, watching her grow up since she's 9 years old, and her attitude obviously changed, but she is definitely one
Like
of
every
the
other teenager.
yeah, every other 15-year-old. She's definitely one of the most exciting football players I've ever seen.
She's unbelievable, and you don't know how she does it, but she just wins. Whatever play needs to be made, she just makes the play. And you sometimes you're just.
Yeah,
I mean, we played
she just
against
throws
her,
it up
and
there, and she's like, Ava's gonna be there, or somebody, or Grace is gonna be there, and they're gonna catch it. She's like Brett
yeah,
Favre. She'll go out there, throw 4 picks, and go out there and throw a touchdown.
and then throw the game-winning touchdown like it never happened. And sometimes I just throw my hands up and I go, "That's Emily." Like, what am I
Yeah,
supposed to do
she
about that?
rarely gets frazzled. That's a very important trait as a quarterback. But obviously everybody gets frazzled. There's a lot of people. Some certain people give her some trouble. I know Charlotte used to give her some trouble when they moved her to rusher, and there's a girl on the Jets that gives her a little bit of trouble. That really fast rusher they have. So people do get to her, but she puts so much work in that she figures out how to beat it.
Now let's talk about the bigger picture. The culture of flag football has definitely changed dramatically, and so has the talent level. I know that you and me have talked over the years about how the talent level has changed and gotten much, much more difficult to compete. What are the changes that you've seen over the years?
So over the years, again, we were together. What was that? What year was that? 5 years ago.
Yeah, 2019-ish to 2021.
Nothing against our 17U team, but if they were to play some of these 17U teams, I think it would be the game's
My
very
God.
different, right? Like,
I used to run handoffs and it
Yeah.
would work.
like, everybody is good now. Like, you could literally go to an FFL tournament, watch some teams who are losing 33-0, and find 2 girls on their team that would start on your team. And there's so much
100%.
talent out there right now. It's crazy. So the boys are always going to be good, right? But the girls, like, everybody's good now. And what's really happening is once this hits the Olympics, and then once it becomes a real Division I sport, nothing against the scholarships and the colleges, but wouldn't send my daughter to, like, the middle of Polk County, Florida to go to college, right? It's not
No.
happening. But once it becomes an Olympic sport and then real schools come in, what's going to happen is these volleyball players, these soccer players, and these basketball players who are low D1, high D2 recruits, like, I'm going to try flag football because I want to go to Alabama or Clemson or Florida or Rutgers. And that's what's going to happen. You're going to get girls from other sports who are athletes, that are real athletes, that train, that have D1 mentality, that are going to come and take everybody's spot. You're already starting to see it.
I see it already at CSI because some of our best athletes are girls who play soccer. I got 2 girls on that team that play soccer and just walked onto the turf and were immediate starters, immediate killers, and they're on scholarship for soccer. But they were like, "Hey, listen, let me try flag football when soccer's
And
on
now they're
season."
letting them
and they
play
killed it.
soccer with a scholarship. They're letting them play
They're
football.
letting them play flag football in the off season of soccer as long as it doesn't conflict. So when we do off season work, they're not allowed to play.
Gotcha.
In season, as soon as the season's over, they're allowed to play with us. And I guess that would depend on the coach, but that's something that
Well, now
at CSI,
CSI is what, a Division I basketball program?
CSI is Division II.
So when it does become real, you're automatically in that division.
Exactly. Yeah. And actually, by the time this comes out, it'll probably be out. But I actually don't coach at CSI anymore. I just got the Division I coaching job at Manhattan University.
Okay.
So I'll be over there heading up their flag football program, which is a true full varsity D1
And
program that we're
they have a
building.
good basketball team as well that's in the tournament and all that stuff.
Really good basketball
Yeah.
team at Manhattan University.
I
Unbelievable for
always take
track and
them in my
field.
bracket with the 16 seed.
Yeah, they're really good basketball program, really good track and field is what they're known for. They've had a couple of Olympians in the track and field, but most importantly, they're putting a lot of money and a lot of resources behind their flag football program. They're it is a varsity sport there, and they're treating it just like every other D1 varsity sport, putting a lot of financial incentives behind it with scholarships. So it is becoming a true D1 sport, not just in Omaha, Nebraska,
Yeah.
and Montana and these Midwest states where you saw the NAIA. Now it's in New York City. It's going
Now
to
now
be in
here's the thing, like,
other
NAIA
states.
can give you real money. I'm happy that all these kids get all these offers and I'm offered here, but they're offering you to play on their club team. They're not like true financial offers. Am I right or am I wrong?
It really depends. So I'm going to go by what we are going to be doing at Manhattan, and it is a true, very good scholarship package that we could put
So
together
you
for you,
can give a
depending on the
scholarship
player.
for a club sport.
It's not a club sport at Manhattan University,
Okay.
so it's a varsity sport. So it depends on the school what the designation is. If the school wants to designate it as a club sport, they can designate it as a
So
club
what
sport. If a
conference are you
school
in?
we're in the MAAC conference, which is part of the
MAC. Yes, the MAC. Like Marshall's
Metropolitan
in there,
Athletic
right?
Conference.
Like Marshall,
Yeah.
Toledo.
Yeah, Iona, Sacred Heart, all of those are in there as well. So it depends on how the school designates it. So if a school designates it as a varsity sport, it gets treated like every other varsity sport. It gets put into the budget like other varsity sports. Like we have an operating budget. We have facilities that are dedicated to flag football. We have lockers that are going to be dedicated to flag football. Like they're really putting a lot of financial resources behind this flag football team. And they're really trying to push it to be one of the top teams in the area because they know how good the athletes are coming from New York City
Yeah, of
because of
course.
programs like yours and SIG, and they really want
Yours.
to be at the forefront of that. So, they're putting a lot of resources behind it to try to get those top athletes to not go to Kaiser and Warner and to stay within
So
the
one
five
thing I'm gonna
boroughs.
touch on what you just said with NAIA, like we sent I'm not saying I sent, but girls from this area we've all sent to these schools. I would love to know how many of them actually stood for all 4 years, right? So
Very
like
few.
very few. I know if you go to Kaiser, it's a little more appealing. You have the beach, you have palm trees, it's cool.
That's about the only school that retains players.
Well, that's probably the only one. Like you go to like Cotty or Warner, Weber, like it's just not appealing for the kids to go there. Like they like, I'm not going to name names, but one of the players like went there, they hated it. They went to another school and they play club and they're having the best time of their life.
Well, it's twofold. I don't think it's just the school. I think it's the culture of the flag up here is a big problem, and I'm speaking as a college coach when I say the ability for players to jump around from team to team to team has lessened their ability to fight through adversity when it comes to a college team. So when you show up on campus at Kaiser, even if you're a top recruit, you're not playing for a year or two because they are consistently in the national championship chase every year. The athletes from up here have a very difficult time getting a scholarship and then sitting on the bench for a year.
So here's
They'd
another thing
rather go
though.
play club where they
So
could
if you're
play
the
guaranteed.
Kaiser and you're going to give me a scholarship from New Jersey, why would you give me a scholarship from New Jersey when you can give 4 girls from Florida a scholarship with state tuition? So for kids in our area, I think it's going to be harder to go down south because they can get 4 kids for the price of one.
Yes, exactly. Well, you know what it is too is that a lot of from what I understand, a bunch of the top Florida athletes go to the schools because the school is cheaper in state for them. It's not
Well, I
50,000,
heard the University of
25.
Florida beat up on Ottawa in a game one time.
Well, that's the other thing. The club teams in Florida are very, very good. They're just as good as the NAIA schools. They're just as good as the NCAA schools. They're very, very good. They're not club teams. They're just as good as any team in the country. They just don't offer scholarships. In fact, one of the top players of the year a couple years ago, who was a quarterback from Newsom, I believe she won player of the year twice in Florida. I forgot her name, but she was a really, really good
Where's she
quarterback.
at now?
I think she's at either UF. She's at one of the Florida schools. But the point is, she didn't go to an NAIA school where she could have got it. She went to one of those schools and just played club. And the club team is just as good as any of those NAIA
Absolutely.
schools.
Like if you think about it, you go to like I'm going to just throw Clemson or for example. If you go to a school like that and you're focused on education, you're not the only high level athlete that just wants to go to school, learn, but they still want to stay active. So you can go to a school like Clemson. I'm going to throw Clemson out there. You go to Clemson, there's probably 20 girls who are superstar, all state, all section, all county, soccer, basketball that just want to go to school and still want to stay active. So you're going to get girls like that. And I've seen some of these girls that get offers, like they don't even play in the club space. Like, so like these better athletes that want a better education, these club teams are going to be better. I think they might be better than some of these NAIA schools.
And you know what, too? A lot of athletes, I'm telling you now, they're thinking long term. So what they're doing is they're getting onto that UF club team. They're getting onto the Clemson club team, understanding it's going to be a true D1 sport in a year or two. And now they can make that D1 team. I
That's why
know
I
that
think
that's been a
FAU is so
conversation.
appealing right now.
Yeah, it's very appealing for that
Sarah's
reason.
there, Finetti's there, Justine Lyle's there. There's a bunch of people there, and as soon as like they're already a D1 program, as soon as that becomes real, they're the first ones. And that's why I really like this Penn State school. I think that once it becomes real, they're going to be the first ones to go to, just because it's Penn State.
Exactly. It's people are getting onto those club teams now because that is the easiest place for coaches to pull from to start a team because you already have athletes there. So if you have a great group like at FAU, I mean, you have 4 or 5 elite athletes to start. And they're already committed to the school financially, so it's very easy, for you to get them a little bit of scholarship money.
There is just a huge drop off in the talent. I think that our 12U team could beat half the college teams, and I'm not even being funny. I'm not even being funny. Like, there's a huge drop off. So, like, there's certain schools, like, if you watch, like, the level of the play, these NAI schools, the kids are really, really good. And then you watch some of these local schools around here, like, some of these kids never played football.
No, and some of the coaches have never coached either. They're
Yeah.
just getting any coach who said that they
Well,
know
like, you
any
think
level of
even in New
football.
Jersey, like, the biggest problem with New Jersey is not a problem, but you got high school is going to add flag football. They're just going to grab a gym teacher who wants a $7,000 stipend. That's going to go on YouTube, download some plays, and he's your coach. They're not like, it's not like tackle football. So they're not going to get real coaches who are really going to make them better. But God bless like the guys for doing it, and they're growing the sport. But that's what's happening in the high school space. You have a guy who's a gym teacher, the science teacher. He's like, oh, you need me 7,000? I like football. I'll coach the girls. And
You
that's
see it
what's
all
really
over.
happening in New Jersey.
You see it all over in New York too, in Staten Island. There's plenty of people who just get it for the stipend, and they could do, whatever happens, happens. And that issue is rampant all over. I've spoken about it with other college coaches, but I really think it comes down to resources. What resources do these college coaches have, or these high school coaches have,
Nothing. They
to
have
really
nothing.
understand the game? Right?
No,
Like, there's a
they're not
million
getting any
YouTube
help. They're getting,
videos,
the Jets are amazing what they do. They really go above and beyond to like grow the high school
especially
sport.
for the high school. Yeah,
They're unbelievable. What they do is, and I'm sure the Giants do. I'm a diehard Giants fan. I wish they were involved in flag, but they do. Like every organization does great things. The Jets just happen to do girls flag football. The Giants
yes,
may be feeding the homeless. The Eagles maybe do. Everybody's doing great things. The Jets just do something that we all love, and what they
yeah.
do is absolutely amazing.
They put a ton of money and a ton of resources behind
Jesse
girls flag
Linder
football.
is one of the best people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, I've had a couple of conversations with them. They have amazing facilities that they allow these high schools to use. They sponsor the PSAL, I believe, and a bunch of those tournaments. They put a ton of money behind girls flag football, and that's why it's grown in New York. A big reason why it's grown in New York is the Jets. Without them, I don't know where high school flag
So
is.
one thing about New Jersey, I know you're a Staten Island guy. If you come to New Jersey and you go in North Jersey, the Jets kind of took control. And in the short conference and below, the Giants took control. So this is the first year they're all going to play under the same rules. So hopefully that like unifies the sport and they can eventually make it like a real sport. Because right now in New Jersey, by me, you could still play lacrosse and softball. You could play lacrosse or softball and still play flag football because it's not a real varsity sport. So what's going to happen? All these athletic directors are like, we don't want football because football's pickleball for kids right now, right? Like everybody's playing
Yeah,
football. So what's going to happen is the softball coach, the lacrosse coach who've been there for 10 years, they're going to start losing their stars. And it's going to be a problem. That's why there's a little bit of kickback on football becoming a real sport because it's like, you know, Pat, the softball coach, is going to be like, hey, I don't want football here because they're going to take all my best players. So now they can still play softball. And when there's no conflict, they can go play flag. So now it's a win for everybody. But once that becomes a real sport and the Olympics happen, there's going to be huge fallout from lacrosse and softball players.
I mean, it's happened already behind the scenes. I know I've had a bunch of conversations with a bunch of different high school advocates in different states, and they say one of the biggest hurdles for flag football is other sports. Other sports are actively trying to block flag football in those schools and in those towns and cities so they don't lose athletes to flag football.
So what they do
And
in
I've seen it.
Connecticut, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they do a spring and a fall league. So the kids
Yeah,
have opportunity.
Brandon from CT Flag
Not Lawrence, I
is
thought it was.
actually well, they both have leagues, but Brandon is
So
the actual
somebody told me
flag football league,
that
I
in the
believe.
fall they have a girls league, and then they have one in the spring. So girls who play whatever sports are in the fall could still have the opportunity to try football, which is actually pretty cool. I don't, it's a pretty cool. I don't know how many teams they have, but that's great to help grow a game, especially if it's just a club sport.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm not sure who runs the league up there. I think Matt and Brandon both have different leagues in different areas of Connecticut,
Yeah,
but they're both pushing the sport forward and helping girls get into it. But exactly like you said, we've had those conversations as well. Other sports are trying to stop flag football from coming into those areas because it is such a big draw that they know that they're going to lose some of those top
it's
athletes.
pickleball for kids. It's a fat. It's that popular right now. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to try it. You see it on TV all weekend. I watch the Red Zone all weekend. You see the commercial with SIG and all those girls and Ashley Clam and all those great athletes. And like it's there right now, and it's right on the brink of really exploding.
And you know what, too, is what other sport has the power of the NFL behind it? I mean, when you think
Nobody.
about the
NFL could
rise of
run the world if they
softball,
wanted to.
if you think about the rise of softball, the rise of women's volleyball, the rise of all these other women's sports, they've never had an entity like the NFL that was able to put, at the snap of a finger, can put 30, $40 million behind a sport.
There is no other professional entity like the NFL. The NFL with gambling, DraftKings, FanDuel, just the revenue in general. The NFL is the most popular sport, and there's not even a close second.
No,
There's
no, they double
football,
and triple everything else.
and then there's nothing else. And then there's like a mile gap, and there's baseball, basketball, hockey, however you want to divide it.
Yeah, exactly. And that is a huge reason why flag is so big, is because they have that power behind them. I mean, there's nothing else like, the power of the NFL, and it shows because they're able to put, at the snap of a finger, they're able to put hundreds of millions of dollars behind the sport. And I've talked to some NCAA representatives as well, and they said they've never seen a sport go from not being mentioned to being an emerging sport so fast.
And the one good thing about football, what do you really need, right? You need a pair of cleats, a set of flags, and some open grass, and you really could start playing. It's not like it's hockey or baseball. You need a $500 bat. Hockey, it's football. It's like basketball. You just need a ball.
I think that's why it's so attractive to so many people is you need a ball and a pair of flags and
Yep.
some cleats. You can get a setup for $50 and you could be on your way to playing flag.
Yep. And
And
then
that that is a big reason.
there's so many levels to flag that people don't get. Like people like, I'm not gonna name organizations, but there's a tackle organization in Staten Island that is very against flag football. And they always have something to say against flag football. But if you look at their organization, their best players are all flag football players. And then guess who played flag football? Bijan Robinson, Jeremiah Smith. They're pretty big names that could play ball. Zach, there's so many kids that are coming up. There's this quarterback from Miami. His name's Zach Katz. He played for Red Zone. There's just so much talent out there, and flag football is going to develop you more than tackle. Tackle football, I think, if you're 7, 8, 9 playing, it's stupid. What are they doing? They're handing it to a 10-year-old that's me and your size and letting him run. And what do you
Yeah,
learn?
left tackles are running backs at
Yeah,
9 years
exactly. What are
old.
you learning? But if you get these kids running routes and learning the concept of the game, it teaches them. So when they are 11 or 12, they can put pads on and be successful.
And I think you're gonna see more in the tackle world of people avoiding that tackle until they're 12 years old. So they're gonna be playing flag at a young age until 11 or 12 just to save themselves from those unnecessary injuries.
Yeah, especially if you have 3 kids out there that are playing offensive line, they're just out there because their dad's reliving their childhood, and they're thinking about where they're gonna go play Fortnite and Roblox, and next thing you know, your running back's getting killed behind the line of scrimmage, right? Like, what are you getting out of that? Like, at least flag, everybody's involved, everybody's running a route, it's just great for the kids because 'cause you're learning how to run a route, you're learning the game, and tackle, what are you doing? You have a kid out there, you stick him out left guard, he don't he what's he doing out there? He don't care, he's looking in the sky? So, at least flag, the game is so fast and everybody's so involved.
Yeah, and you have to be skilled. You can't just be big, right? In flag, you have to be skilled. You have to have finesse, and it teaches you a lot of that, which is important in tackle.
Yeah, it's like soccer. It teaches you some motor skills. You're constantly going. The games are so fast. The one thing that I think they need to do, like, there's so many kids like next level, like that league, for example, right? Richie does a great job. He's got thousands of kids, right? But like those kids, they're playing a certain style, right? So when they get to that next level, it's a culture shock. They're like, "What's a blitz?" You know, and that's why your league is great because it helps. There's no blitz. It's great for everybody because that quarterback could slowly develop it's more of a transition to rec. But once you get that live blitz, that changes everything. Like I tell everybody,
Everything changes everything.
like if I really I save like people send me highlights all the time. I think it's hysterical that they want their kid to like play for THT or whatever, and it's like these kids don't even like know they're playing football. So it's like there's such levels to it
Yep.
that everybody has to stand. Like you could be good here in your C division team, and then maybe you're good in the B division, but then when you go play against like we different, or the academy, like you miss a flag, you turn around, these kids are 100 yards down the field in 4 seconds. Like
Yep.
what just happened, you know? So like there's such levels to it. And like people just have to play where their skill set is and slowly work themselves up. Everybody just wants to go into travel and be a star. It don't work like that. Like it takes time. Like I even said earlier, like when I was doing the adult stuff, I went to Florida for 4 years. We didn't score a touchdown, 6-0, whatever. We didn't get killed, but we didn't score. Then all of a sudden I figured it out. And then when it took 4 years to figure out, but I figured it out. And like all that stuff definitely translated into becoming like a youth coach.
Exactly. And that patience is what allowed you to eventually get into those big events and win those big events. I mean, if you had your mom saying, "No, let's go play on this other team," like you never get there, right? You
No,
just keep
never.
spinning the wheel. So now I'm going to ask you some specific topics. I want to see where you stand
That
on these specific topics. So, what do you think about these NFL club teams? Do they help the sport? Do they hurt the sport? And is the platform they're giving these kids worth it?
All right, so I think it has a lot of pros and it has some cons. I'll use the Jets just because they're local. What they're doing for football is absolutely amazing. Like they built an amazing thing. They give you $5,000, $10,000 if you win. One in Cleveland, we got a water gun, right? We got a water gun.
Yeah, I
We got
think
a
we
water
got a
gun.
Nerf set. We
A
got like
Nerf
two
set
water
and a water
guns.
gun.
Yeah.
So like what they're doing, I wish every team was doing. It's like the high school one's great. Like you're building amazing team. You're building a team of the best in New Jersey and New York, and I think that's really cool. And it's really good for the sport, and I'm okay with that. And then there's certain things that I'm not a fan of, but these kids just want to play football, and the times have changed. And call me old school, but it is what it is. I'm all about growing a team. Obviously, I'm going to add players. If somebody comes to me and they're good, I'm not going to say no. But I like to develop and start from the bottom. You have somebody. I'm going to use Kevin for example from Beast of Speed. I think he's the prime example of developing players. Like he has his group. You got Dylan, Demi, Callie, Alana, that whole crew, right? Taylor, all those girls. I'm sure I missed a few. They're all amazing. And he's had them since they're like 7 years old. And I think that's one of the last groups you're going to see that's going to stay together through the thick and the thin. And I really like watching them grow. Like, am I a fan of the 14U Jets? No, because they're a powerhouse and they just beat the shit out of us every time we play them, right? So it's like,
Same here.
it's like they're unbelievable. Like watching them play, it's unbelievable. Like they're unbelievable. And you have the twins who are 12, who are Caitlin Richards, I think is the best player I've ever seen play flag football for
The
that
Twins are
age.
not far behind.
No,
So to
but
have
you're
all three of them
12.
on the same team.
14U, Caitlin Richards is the best player I've ever seen play flag football at that age.
She's ridiculous.
She's ridiculous.
She's absolutely ridiculous.
And then Mila's on a different level. And Mila's like, like she's not like Emily. She's not as mobile as Emily, but she's on that level where she's going to be elite. And you have Patterson and all these girls. Like, is it fun?
It's
when
unfair.
They come? Is it fun when they come? No. But these kids are getting to go to California and they're getting experiences they might not have ever got if they were going with their club, their regular team. Am I a fan of it? No. I've voiced my opinion many times, but it is what it is. These kids just want to play football. They're amazing athletes, and hopefully other NFL teams see this. I know SoCal does something similar, Jaguars, and then there's the Cowboys, and that's really all who cares. I'm not saying it's all who cares, but that's all who's really involved right now. And is it fun when like you go play Pink Dynamite and all of a sudden you're really playing the Jets? No, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And it is what it is. Like that's the only way you're gonna get better. You go to a tournament and you're like, Pink Dynamite or Just Friends or the Crew, whatever what do they call it? Golden Company.
Golden Company.
Yeah,
Now.
and then you're like, all right, here we go. And it is what it is. They're all absolutely amazing athletes. I've watched a lot of them play since they're 7. I've been battling with Ramos since we're like 8. Like watching her play, it's just she's unbelievable. And the world's different. It's a different world right now. Like, would I ever do something like that? No. But the kids love it. The kids are getting great experiences, and it's all about the kids.
Exactly. And the opportunities that they're getting from being part of that is something that unfortunately none of us can provide because the resources that the Jets have is tremendous.
No, obviously,
So,
you can't compete with Woody Johnson and Johnson & Johnson.
I wish they cared about as much about their tackle team as they do their flag team.
Their flag team might be able to beat their tackle. I think they should have Mickey coach take Aaron Glenn's job.
Yeah,
I
get
think
Mila
Mickey
back under
should
center.
go interview for Aaron Glenn's position.
Exactly. Might have to get Mila under center, get Kaylee.
Like there's this team in Alabama that I see on Max Preps and all that stuff. I watched their highlights. I personally think C would beat them by 2 scores or Tottenville would beat them by, that's my opinion. But like there's some athletes on that team that you're like, wow, like you never see them on the circuit. but they're just athletes everywhere.
And from personal experience being in Florida, knowing the 7-on-7 teams, watching the 7-on-7 teams, you don't hear a lot about them because they're kind of in their own circle. Those Florida 7-on-7 teams, the Alonzos, the Robinsons, Newsomes, Leonard, they have that level of athlete on their team. But that level of athlete is a freshman that is riding the bench for a year or two, waiting to get their opportunity as a junior. But they have those level of athletes in those schools. We just don't hear about it too much because Florida's a little bit
And the
more
one
low
thing that
key.
needs to be changed is Florida, California, PA, Jersey, they all play different rules. So it's like you play baseball with 12 people, we play with 8. They need to unify the rules. Like in Florida, they play and in California, they play NFL flag style. In Florida, they wear triple threat flags. In New Jersey, they block like it's the NFL in North Jersey. In South
In South
Jersey,
Jersey, there's no center.
well, yeah, it's like you go to
They take it
NFL,
off a tee.
you play in North Jersey, you might as well bring like the guy
Bring
from
pads.
Blindside to come block for you because these
Bring
girls are
pads.
coming like it's the NFL. So like they need to you need to unify the sport and you need to have a rule that everybody plays the same. I think I hate 7-on-7, but I think that if that's what it is, that's what college is, that's what it should be. But you need to unify the rules. Like everybody plays football the same rules unless you're in a really small town. Like if you're in a really small town in rural America, you play 7-on-7 hash to hash. Even in like, Bronx and New Rochelle, a lot of teams play 8-on-8 football. Even in like Dallas, there's like a whole group is just 7-on-7 football and they play on a small field with pads. So obviously you have to adjust based off of the demographic, but everybody needs to play the same rules in the major sport.
This year, actually, the NFHS came out with the official high school rules. So hopefully
I'm
that
actually a
alleviates
member of the
things.
NFHS because I watch all Brandon Suns games. So I pay the 19.95 a month to have the membership, and I watch all the high school games. I even shared my login with Mike once he wanted to watch like a game in Maryland or something. So it's pretty cool. Like that's a great like they cover almost every high school where I'm at. They stream at least 50% of their games. It's really cool. Some of them have announcers. Some of them are just a phone on a tripod with an intern. But that's a great like network for them to start doing that because everybody needs to play the same rules. Because there's girls in 5-on-5 who would get eaten alive on a big field.
Yeah. You know what the biggest area you'll see the difference is? Quarterbacks. Because in a 7-on-7 field, it's 40 yards wide. So you go to throw a 10-yard curl, it's like a 35-yard pass.
Yeah, yeah,
Where
yeah.
they're used to playing 5-on-5, the wide receiver's 15 yards away max. So that is the biggest from coaching travel 5-on-5 and coaching college. The biggest area I see the difference is the arm strength of the quarterbacks. They not that they don't have the arm strength, but they never needed to train arm strength because the field is so small. And
So
then
we
they go
played
to the
Pirate
big
Bay.
field and it's like, whoa.
We played Pirate Bay in Oakley, and they were good. And their quarterback was taking the snap like 20 yards back.
And they don't really play fives; they play sevens.
Yeah.
So for them to be that
And
good
Brandon
off
was
the
like,
snap,
where they scored on us right away. We stopped rushing them and it kind of like changed the whole game. But it's a different game. It's like I tell everybody, like everybody's like, oh, I played D1. I played here. I don't care. Everything you know about football, throw in that garbage can. The only thing the same is the ball. Like there's a referee at FFL, Mike Demart. You know Demart?
yeah, yeah,
I
he's
would take
very good in adult,
I would
right?
take Mike Demart, EU, Evan, and any other athlete, and he will bring us to a championship in a 5-on-5 league. He's that good.
People talk about him like he's a
He is
legend.
he I've won 100 tournaments with him. He is the best quarterback in flag football ever. And it just shows like he don't look the part. Like he's drinking beer on the sideline. And he's just like it's a gimmick game. Like all these guys come in and they got 100 defenses and like for what? The field's 25 by 50. You're just trying to make yourself important. There's no need for all of this. It's a simple game. And a lot of times these coaches just complicate it. Like you could tell a 12-year-old boy cover two, man, this, that. Tell a 14-year-old girl just broke up with her boyfriend. Like they're gonna go man cover two. Good luck. Good luck, right? So like everything you know about real football, I tell everybody throw in the garbage. The only thing same is the ball. It's a gimmick game. It's completely different, and it's just like 7-on-7 and fives. It's a different game. There's like there's certain players that'll excel in both, but there's some players that you put on a 7 field on a bigger field, they're going to get exposed.
100%. 7-on-7, I feel like is way more of a team game and a scheme game and a concept game, and 5-on-5 is more individual. It's more about who you have. Do you have the athletes you need, or do you not? Like you said, you don't need to have
Like
100
you could
defenses,
hide
100
somebody in a
offenses.
7-on-7 game.
Yes, that's
You
a
can't
big.
hide somebody
You
in
can.
5-on-5.
You get exposed immediately in 5-on-5. If you don't have the right players, you get exposed immediately.
Like
7-on-7, I could have a weak corner. It doesn't matter.
if I see somebody trying to hide something, I'm going right at them. And you know. Like, that's going to happen. And in the older girls, the boys know right away. The girls aren't as like savvy, but like I use like Izzy, for example. Like if they put in some kid who's really not that great, Izzy's going to change whatever play Brandon told him. And he's going to go right at that kid every play until the
Just
kid's
throw the
trying.
ball until they take him out.
And like the boys will do that. Some of the girl, like the boys know how to like read the field, and like now you're seeing like 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls reading the field like Ed Reed, right? Like you have these corners, like some of these quarterbacks stare at their receivers. Now you got 14-year-old, 15-year-old girls that are ball hawks. 4 or 5 years ago, AJ Cavallati was the only ball hawk, right?
She was a
Everybody,
monster.
she was
Her and
like,
Allison, those were the two girls. That was it.
they're like girls that could play now and still be relevant, like in like the elite. A lot of these other girls that were great then, they wouldn't even be able to step on the field.
But Adri and Allison were the two safeties that they could cover sideline to sideline, and they'll read what concept you're trying to do, and they'll just pick the ball off.
Well,
And you're like, how the hell did that happen?
Allison's like a student of the game. Allison's like Adri's just kind of there.
Adri's all instincts.
Yeah,
She's
she's
all
just there.
instincts and speed.
She don't even know she's playing football. She's just there. Allison's like a student of the
She don't know the
game.
score. She don't know the time in the
Oh, she
game.
didn't
She
know if
just
you
knows
won.
they have the ball.
Nothing. But like Allison's on a different level.
She really is. I just had a conversation with her recently, and her knowledge of the game is like a coach, and
Yeah, yeah.
that's
She
really
was
what
always
helped
like
them.
that.
But that's what propelled them, because her leadership allowed those other girls to flourish, because they were allowed to just follow her lead, and
And
she would
that's what
put them in the
like
right
that's
position.
one thing that I think lacks on the girls' side. There's not many leaders. There's a lot of teams that I would play against, and I'll take the ball first just to score because I know if you score on them, the ship's
They'll
going to sink.
collapse.
They'll
They'll just
collapse.
collapse. Yeah.
So that's one thing that I think you're starting to see more of. But there's not many girls that could really take their team and like be like, all right, listen, like really, like Allison was really good at that. Like you really don't see a lot of that now. There's a couple that come to mind,
You
but
know who comes to
Allison
mind is
has that.
Mila. Mila's one that comes to mind as a leader of her team.
Mila's 20 in a 12-year-old body or 30, whatever. She's that mindset.
Yeah.
And she's probably played 87,000 flag football games, right? She's probably playing right now.
She's playing
So
somewhere right now.
like her, Kaylee, like they're students of the game. And like you could tell like they live and breathe flag football. And now like girls like that, a girl who just plays because they want to be on the Knights or SIG or THT, and you just show up for a tournament and do nothing during the week, you're not going to be here next year. Like the game is going to pass you. Like there's no AAU basketball player that just shows up to an AAU basketball tournament, right? You have to work and you have to practice. Flag football is there now. So like back in the day, like little Susie can just show up to a game and not touch a football for 3 weeks. Now, if you ain't putting in work, this game's gonna pass you. These girls are fast, they're strong, it's ridiculous. So like if you're not treating this, like I know flag football is always a secondary sport, right? So like basketball is always the cream of the crop, soccer, track, football's secondary. Football is not going to be secondary in a couple of years. So you need to be all in and you need to be putting that work in if you want to play on that next level. If you want to go play rec and play in my league, my bullshit tournaments, your league, next level, that's cool. Just show up, have fun with your friends. But if you want to play in these giant, like high level tournaments like Oakley and all this stuff, you need
NFL
to
flag nationals.
you better work a couple days a week working on your craft and get better. Like I'll use Emily, for example. Emily, Abby Mercado,
I see videos of them all the time at the
they
quarterback
work
training.
out together. They got 4 or 5 receivers. They're putting in work. Like that's better than practice to me. Like a Friday night, Emily, Abby Mercado, like whatever, like SIG, Rebels, THC, whatever. They're putting in work together, throwing the girls, having a great time. And you could see like Abby's throws a football. Like she has the best arm I've ever seen. Like
She's got a rocket.
she's got
She's got a
rocket.
rocket.
And then you have somebody like Emily who's just fun to watch. Like it's crazy. She's like
But
Pat
they're putting
Mahomes.
in work constantly.
Yeah, they're putting in work. And then you have a quarterback who does nothing, shows up to a game, and their parents yelling at me because I took, you take them out. And if you're not treating this like it's a real sport, you're going to get left behind. And people need to understand that this isn't come to a tournament, TikTok, put in your bio, you play on this team. No, you have to put in work and earn this now. This is where the game is at.
And exactly like you said with Emily and with Abby, I think it's important for parents to understand that the work comes before and after practice. Practice is the time, for the teams that do practice. Practice is the time where you instill your offensive and defensive plays, your schemes. It's not the time for me to spend an hour, one-on-one with the
Yeah,
quarterback.
I'm not running
else.
ladder drills with you. Like that's on your own time.
No, that, practice is not for that. Practice is for instilling what the team game plan is going to be. So if parents want to take this seriously, you need to get your kid extra work. You need to go out with them at the field and get catching drills and do ladder drills and get a trainer. And,
Yeah, we have some
that's what
great
they do.
trainers in Staten Island. You have Kevin, you have Elite Trains.
They're
You
very
have
good, both of them.
Freddie Santana, right? Fred.
Yeah, I think it is Freddie.
Some
Yeah, yeah.
guy, the Riz group, Riz something. Like there's
Yeah,
Sarno training.
Riz
There's great
Pro
trainers
Training,
everywhere.
Sarno.
If you do 1 or 2 sessions a week and then you have 1 practice, you're good. But if you want, like, everybody wants all this training, but nobody wants to pay, right? So it's like, hey, if you play club soccer or club baseball, you're paying $700-800 a month and you're getting training. But, we're here running organizations charging just enough and with a little cushion to make sure everybody gets there,
Yeah.
right? So, like, I was talking to Brandon. He said in Florida, they're charging the kids pay $99 a month. And that includes nothing but, and they get a trainer to come in once a week or twice a week and work out with the girls. That's good. That's worth it. And then they pay the tournaments per diem. It's a little easier for them. They're in Florida. There's fields everywhere. It's nice. Like, and this sport is going to pass soccer, hockey, and basketball. It's going to become a $700 sport month. And that's what it's going to cost to play this sport if you want to compete, especially when it becomes a real D1 sport. And then, like, everybody's like, oh, tournaments $500 should be $50 a person. Like, people don't understand what goes into running an organization. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah. There's a lot more behind the scenes than just show up to the tournament.
Like, if you want to make money, travel flag football is not the answer. If you
No,
want to get
definitely not.
rich, you run recreation football leagues and you will be rich. But if you want to run high end travel stuff, you'll never make a penny. And there's rec leagues. These guys are making millions of dollars, which is great. They're getting kids out there, they're playing. But, like, when it comes to the club world, like, we're like, this sport's going to get there and it's going to become like, it's going to outprice a lot of people. It sucks. It's just like, baseball outpriced a certain demographic. And now flag football is going to do the same thing because these tournaments used to be $300. I think we're paying
Yeah,
like,
I
you're not
remember
paying
paying three.
$600 a tournament. Yeah, you're paying $600. Disney's 1,000, but Disney's it's a different animal. It's worth every penny. But I'm just saying, like, a tournament, it's not cheap. And then, like, I don't like to charge. I don't think my coaches should pay. Like, I don't think my team mom should pay. So now you go from 10 kids to 6 or 7, and it's $100 a tournament. It is what it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of hidden expenses when it comes to running an organization that people don't think about. What about insurance, right? You got to have insurances, and you got to, what about, all the travel expenses that go into it, and there's all
Like,
these
I'm
other
a
little
strong believer.
fees.
If you coach for me and you don't have a kid on the team, you shouldn't pay a dollar.
Yeah, there's no reason, they're already donating their time, which is hundreds of hours a year, right? They should get something for free, but where does that
If I
come
got
from?
paid jail wages for what I per hour for what I do for flag football, I would be rich. That's how much time I put into this. So,
You put
it's
a
a lot of
tremendous
work.
amount.
There's a lot of people who are just very ungrateful, unfortunately. But that's just the world we're in. It's a different world, and you're always gonna have that.
How do you feel about athletes constantly switching teams? Do you think the added, because a lot of people say that, they're trying to get these kids work, they're trying to get these kids games. Do you think the added playing time helps, or do you think the culture of jumping teams hurts the sport?
There's a time and a place. Like, I don't like it, but if your team is doing 1 tournament a month and you wanna go play with your friends in some bullshit tournament, I don't own you. I'm not gonna tell you no. If they wanted to play for SIG or the Knights, I may say no, I'm not gonna lie. But if you wanna go play with, some of these other teams, you're just friends with them, I can't say anything because, like, Izzy plays with We Different or Neffel, and so I can't say, "You can't do this," if certain people could do it, right? So, I don't like it, but if these kids wanna play and it keeps them from getting out of trouble, you can't stop it. But it's kind of like the transfer portal, right? In college football, there's an NFL GM. A couple NFL GMs said that on their draft board, they will not draft a player that transferred more than twice, right? Because they're like, listen, this kid's been on 4 teams in 4 years. He don't care. He's not a team player. But I don't know if certain teams aren't going, and as long as they communicate with their coaches, I don't like it. But you don't own these kids. If they weren't paying to play, then you could stop it. But they're paying to play. You can't stop it. I don't like it. But it's just the world that we're in. And as long as it's like, if you go play and you're gonna go play with a team in Texas, I don't care. You're not gonna go there. But you don't want
Yeah,
your players playing with me or my players playing with you because they might leave,
yeah,
right? Like, if one of
yeah.
your players comes with me and they have a good time or vice versa, they're never coming back,
It's
right?
too easy for them to just go back and forth.
But if they're going to play with their friends in Virginia, who cares, right? Who
It
cares?
doesn't make a difference. Yeah,
Like, for example, if Emily wanted to go play in the Worlds, I made a couple calls. I couldn't get her on the team, but I'm okay with that. She wants to go play, get her name on the map, get on Team USA, get a scholarship. I'm not going to stop you. But to go play with, like, to have your coach teach you, and then you have somebody else giving you different plays and calling different routes, it's confusing. It's like some of these parents who send their kids to 5 different quarterback trainers. What are you doing? You
yeah.
got 5 people telling them 5 different things. It's crazy. But, like, that's like, there's a time and a place for everything. I don't like it, but I'm never gonna, like, there's certain teams that I prefer you not play for. But if you want to go
Of
play with your
course, yeah.
friend, go for it. We can't stop you.
Let's talk about two big additions that you made recently. You recently got Charlotte from SIG, you got Callie back from SIG, two fantastic players, which gives your team some elite talent. What do you think about you think it is about the THT brand that makes all these athletes want to wear the jersey?
I think every organization does things great. Everything does things different. Like there are certain players that left us and went to SIG, or left me and went to you, and vice versa. If your only sport is football, and you have an organization like SIG, they might be better for you. They practice like they practice like it's 5 days a week. Like that might be a better fit for you, right? But it's just like people want to like I don't know. I think we have different culture. I think we're a little more. Our parents. Well, we have crazy. Everybody has crazy parents, but I feel like we have more of a family oriented culture. We have my older group is very close. The new wave, it's like I don't really know them like that. I don't really get involved like that. But I think that it's just our older culture. Like I said before, from our first national championship, I have almost every girl still here.
That's big. Not a lot of people could say that.
And anybody that left, they don't play football anymore. Basketball, basketball, basketball.
So yeah, you have a culture that promotes staying together for long periods of time. Obviously, you have several teams that have done that, and that's something that's
And
very
if
attractive to
you
people.
have really good parents and you have a good group, like people don't want to leave that. Like I don't care if we lose. Like if I lose a tournament, I'm mad for 5 minutes. Like I can care less. And that's the difference. Like some of these people will lose a tournament and they'll shut their phone off. They'll change their phone number. Like what are you doing? It's flag football. Who cares?
Some people
Like
take it to heart.
it's crazy. It's crazy. But like if you have the right culture and just everybody has a good time, like our 17U blue yellow team, like I can hang out with them every day, right? Like that Oakley team we made, that's a mixture of both. That's the best group of people you could ever have together. And like stuff like that, people don't want to get away from that. But like having people are gonna come here, like, again, are we the best at every age group? No, we have some divisions that are a little weaker, but I think if you were to say as a best organization as a whole in the country, we have to be top 2 or 3. I can't
You
name
got to be
one
right there with how many
organization.
different teams that win at different levels for you.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on. I gotta plug in my computer. We're gonna move real quick. Hold on.
Getting a house tour,
What's up? Yeah, in a house tour. Yeah, yeah.
house tour, MTV Cribs.
Back. I'm back. My wife's office. So, all right, good. So, people are like they film this on 2 different days, but so yeah, like there's just people. Like I think we have a good brand. Not everything's perfect at any organization, but I think that's what draws the people over. We never really had any issues. We have pretty good retention.
Speaking of your two teams, you mentioned your yellow and your blue team for your high school. Why don't you always play as the Oakley team if you know that that's the best mixture of players? Is it any specific reason?
Yeah. So we've had these teams forever, and it's just hard to like leave them certain players home or stuff like that. So it's just like, hey, listen, this Oakley team, me, Brandon, the coaches, we're gonna pick who we want based off of availability and who can commit. And not for nothing, if I sent a second Oakley team, I think they would have qualified too. So like the talent is there, just not everybody's all in on flag football. Like I have 3 quarterbacks on that team.
Yeah, you
If
have different
you
levels of commitment.
So like there's different levels of commitment. Like I have a group chat on the app and I'm like, hey, we have this tournament. Who wants to come? The first 10 people that say yes, go. And like everybody has their own tournaments. And then all these like little pop-up tournaments, like me, GVOC. Hey, who wants to go? That's the team. And Brian just coaches it. The coaches don't even go. And like that's like I just want everybody playing together. And when they get to this age, you're gonna start losing a lot of people, like boyfriends, girlfriends, jobs, life, college. So like people slowly trickle out around this age. If
Yeah,
it was
there's a
up to
high.
if it was up to me, I would have one team in every division. If it was my call, like I would have 10 kids in every division and have 5 teams, and that's it. I wouldn't even have boys teams if it was up to me. To be honest with you, I would just have 5 girls teams and call it a day. But instead, we have 21 teams.
Just a slight deviation from what you
Yeah,
want.
yeah, exactly.
So let's talk about tournaments. What are some of the best tournaments, youth tournaments that you've been a part of, and what makes them so special?
All right, so not in no order. NFL flag obviously is amazing. Beast of the East is amazing. We Run the World. Oakley is at a different level of how amazing it was put together. And obviously, you have real money behind you. You have real sponsorship. You have the NFL. You have Oakley. You can't compare an Oakley tournament to FFL or hard count. I've never been to a hard count tournament, so I can't speak on that. But I think FFL, I think Beast of the East, We Run the World, NFL flag, Oakley, and I'm going to throw in the Dallas Cowboys experience as my top 5 tournaments.
You've won most of the big national tournaments in one age group or another. Which age group was the hardest to win a
I
big
think
national
we've
tournament
won
at?
every major tournament in one age group or the other. We've won the Beast of the East award 4 or 5 years in a row, overall organization. Winning 10 U's fun, winning 12 U's fun, winning 14 U's fun. But when you win 17 U, that's when it really matters. Like, there's real coaches, not saying the other coaches aren't real, but it's strategic. Like, am I the best coach? No, I'm more of like an organizer, a coach. I'll get the kids excited. I know what I'm doing, but Brandon is a great coach. Brandon is amazing. Mike Colt is amazing. There's good coaches in that higher level of football that are going to watch film. Brandon's never going to watch film, but like an Anthony Martinez, he would watch film. Like he's a great defensive coach. Like, you watch a lot of film, you're really like a student of the game. I kind of just show up and just figure it out. Like I'm not going to do all that extra stuff, but I just have fun. That's kind of my style of coaching. But there's real coaches when you get older. And, you have like a Ramos, who's an amazing coach. And there's just so many of them. Jay Millie's an amazing coach. I could sit here like Rudy from Apex. There's so many great coaches. I don't want to miss anybody and offend anybody. But when you get to that 17U, like I watch some of these people coach just in my UFA league that I run, and it's like, what are these guys doing? Like I watch somebody throw a pass up 7-6 with 12 seconds left in the game on fourth down and lose. Like, what are you doing? So it's like there's levels to it, but the older the division, the better the coaching and the better the athlete. Like winning 10U is amazing, but winning 17U,
It's very difficult. It's not by chance. It's not
like going
because you have
6-1 in Oakley was like an amazing accomplishment.
unbelievable. It really was unbelievable. You played some elite teams, and in that format, there's no dodging anybody. There's no, oh, they got
And
knocked out. We
the
didn't have to play
games are
them.
longer and there's a stop clock. And you get to see how some of these coaches, like in 14 and 12U, they wouldn't even know what to do with a 1 minute stop time. It would be a disaster. So you have coaches that are like studying the game and studying the clock, and that's the real difference. Like 12U, 10U, you could just win off talent, boys, girls. You're winning off talent. When you get to 17, you weeded out those kids that are just there. And now you have great, great athletes.
Which tournament is considered the most prestigious to win, and which one mattered the most to you?
NFL flag. NFL flag, great because you have to play with your little area. And it's just, I don't know, it's the NFL. It's kind of on TV. Like last year, unfortunately, we had to play our own team. But it's a different vibe. Like NFL flag is great. I think Oakley is above that. And then the Beast of the East and We Run the World, they're right there. We Run the World is my favorite tournament.
Those are amazing, amazing events, especially the job that they do without the money behind them.
5 degrees. It's great.
Especially the fact that they're doing it without all that money that Oakley has and all that behind them. They're doing a really good job of putting those tournaments on.
Yeah, that's the Flag Football Life guys are amazing. Like what they've built, and like now, like everybody like wants to run tournaments, and I could tell you, like you could tell you, it's not easy. Like it's not easy what they do. Like I run tournaments, you run tournaments. I do small stuff. I get 40 teams a tournament. I run tournaments the days kids don't have school. I'm not going to compete with them. Like I'm not going to do a tournament. I'm going to do tournaments days nowhere. When the kids are off school, that people are going to come just from the fear of missing out. I'm going to sell out just because nobody wants to miss out. And that's like my little
Exactly.
niche. And I could be very successful with that niche with the tournaments. But what FFL has created, like even I heard hard count on the West is great. I've never been to a hard count tournament. I might go to the one in that they're having. I'm actually going to come to. I sent your tournament out today to a bunch of my where's Chester, New York? Could you tell the people where that is?
That's about an hour and 20 minutes north of Staten Island. It's
Oh, that's
about
not
an
bad.
hour
All right,
north
that's
of
fine.
no.
I thought it was by
It's
like
an
Buffalo.
hour and
That's fine.
20. No, God, no.
Is it past the
It's
jail? The jail tournament we did?
it's actually the jail tournament's a little bit more east. This is a little
Okay.
bit more west,
Same
but
ride?
it's same ride. It's about an
Yeah,
hour
that's
and
not.
20 minutes.
That's nothing. It's like going to King of
But
Prussia.
yeah, it's the same thing as going to Conshohocken, but the other way. It's going north.
No,
But
that's fine.
Capelli built a beautiful brand new
Yeah,
facility
I
there.
actually live right next to Capelli, where I live, and they have an amazing complex in Tinton Falls.
I have that place for the Heatwave tournament that we're doing. I have it for the NCFFL Nationals that we're doing. We're doing both events there in Tinton Falls.
Yeah, I
I'm
think that
very
guy's like a
friendly.
huge like clothing designer or like makeup designer or something. He's super rich. Whoever owns Capelli.
He's very very
Yeah,
well off, obviously,
very
to
well
have all
off. Yeah, yeah.
those to have all the facilities that he has. But they just built a brand new one in Chester, New York, with an indoor bubble and 2 outdoor fields. It's beautiful. So we're going to try to go up there and see how that is. It's good to get these kids into something that they haven't been before. You've been to, all these places a million times, right? I wanted to try
But if
something different.
every tournament was at Jackson Adventure Crossings or Adventure Sports and King of Prussia, I would be okay with that.
Yeah,
I
that
love
wouldn't be too bad. I mean, it's
I
a
don't
good
like the
ride.
Downington. I love the facility, but that extra 40 minutes from King of Prussia,
It's
when you see
brutal.
Top Golf, you're like, I got another 40 minutes.
Ugh.
So, if everything was at those locations, I'd be happy with that.
It's a very different ride to go to United Sports versus, Conshohocken,
Yeah, you
right?
actually have to sleep there.
Yeah, it's almost a 2-hour ride as opposed to
Yeah.
an hour and 10 minutes.
Yep.
So it is a very different ride. I kind of dread it, honestly. I wish everything was back at King of Prussia.
or Hillsborough.
Yeah, well, that we're trying to do some of that a little bit closer, so that way you don't have to travel so far. You've played teams from all over the country, East Coast or West Coast teams. Which teams are tougher to play? Which teams are more dominant?
Very different. I'm going to use Apex for example. They're extremely well coached. Rudy, Todd, we played them in Oakley. We had a really good game with them back and forth. They came out with a game plan. They played a little aggressive against us, and our girls didn't know what to do. Athletically, I think the West Coast might be a little more athletic, but as an overall, I don't know. Like, so these teams are so good. It's so hard to say. It's just different styles of play. I think they have a lot of athletes. They have a lot more teams, I feel like. But where you look at our team, you look at our team picture, and you look at like SoCal's team picture. You're like, this team's gonna win by 100. And like, we beat them, they
They
beat
got
us.
some big girls.
They're unbelievable. Like they beat us a national championship 2 years ago. We beat them the year before. Like they're an amazing organization. Apex is great. I don't really know many other people out there. Who's going to Oakley this year? Texas Fury is always going to be good.
Fury, Bad Rabbits are coming up surprisingly.
Yeah, Bad Rabbits is going to be good. They have a broad spectrum of pulling players from. But they definitely have a really good team as well. Oakley is going to be, Athena. Even on our side, like we were beating teams by 30, 40, and then Athena's losing to them, and then Athena beats us. Like it's just we play so much good competition all the time. Like we could play Athena 100 times, it's going to be 50-50.
Athena's 17U is very good. Tim Quinn
Tim,
is a coach that's not talked about a lot, but I think he's one of the
he might
top
be
2 or 3
watching Oakley
coaches.
film right now, breaking it down. Like he's good.
He's one of those top 2 or 3 coaches, though.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there with
is
Brandon. He's up there with Brandon and Code as well. He's
Yeah.
really into it. He has great athletes. We've been playing them since we started. So they're definitely up there. We're going Pirate Bay. Who else? Us, Pirate Bay. Who is he?
Athena and
Leo Minster.
I think Leo Minster, right?
You throw Ramos behind anybody under center, you're going to be in.
You got a shot.
Yeah,
you have a shot no matter what. It doesn't matter what age group. If she's playing quarterback, there's a shot to win it.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you think the West Coast teams play more physical? Is that what the difference is?
I think that's like especially the Apex team, because they play a lot of 7-on-7 like the boys. So they're like one of the teams that I've ever met that could play a true man. Like they could lock you up in man like boys. Like they're locking you up. Like not teams around here could really do that. The girls are too scared to get beat and go on Instagram. There they really don't care. Like Rudy's got them in check. Rudy's very, Rudy, he's nuts. He's got them where they need to be, and they're definitely unbelievable.
I think the ability to play man is one of the biggest differences I've seen between the elite teams and the non-elite teams. If you could just straight up go man, it's an absolute killer.
Yeah. And it's very hard to play man when you can't touch somebody. I'm going to give you 2 teams out of the toughest 2 teams in the girls that we ever faced. Island Empire and Apex.
Island Empire is extremely physical.
Yeah, I don't know like
We
what they're
played them.
called now, or if they're with, I don't know like what the dynamic is, but that team is
From
one
Hawaii,
of the
I
best
believe.
teams I've ever seen. All the Hawaii teams are good. We've battled with them in the boys, but that team in particular, I don't know, like I think their quarterback is now with Apex, but that team, we played them twice. They beat us twice. They are unbelievable. And then them and Apex, I don't know if they're the same team now, but that group is the best group I've ever played against.
That is some very, very high praise from a 5-time national champion. But I completely agree. They're unbelievable, especially
And that girl
those
on
Hawaii teams.
SoCal, Makina Cook, she's a different level too.
They have some athletes that are ridiculous. So I'm going to give you 6 states. I want you to rank them in terms of who has the best 5-on-5 flag.
All right, let me write this down. Hold on. Go ahead.
Florida, New York, Texas, California, Arizona, and Massachusetts.
That's 6.
I should have said 6. So 6 states. Who has the best? I'm going to give you 6 states.
Boys
who
or
has
girls?
the best 5-on-5 flag? Give me boys and girls.
All right, boys. Florida's 1, Texas is 2, California's 3, Arizona's 4, New York's 5, Massachusetts is 6.
That's for the boys.
Boys. Girls, New York's 1, Florida's 2, California's 3, Texas is 4, Arizona's 5, and Massachusetts is 6.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
We're going to have some people upset in the comments about that ranking, but I love it. You put New York at number 1 in terms of the best girls 5-on-5 flag in the country.
Yeah.
And you said Florida was number 1 for the boys. Is that because of Red Zone?
Red Zone. Oh, there's 100 organizations there. I can give you a list a mile long, and the boys, forget it. Those kids aren't even human.
You're a lot more plugged into the boys than me, but yeah, you know all the good
But you
teams out
think
there.
about it, right? Like you have a state like Texas, they're unbelievable. Great coach. I forgot his name, but he's unbelievable coach. Who's the Texas Fury coach? Not the tall guy, the other guy.
Keenan Hughes, I think.
Oh no,
The tall guy is Keenan.
His name
I know
is
who you're talking about.
he's
The guy who
unbelievable.
coaches with Clam. Yeah.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. They're unbelievable. But you have the state of Texas. They're pulling kids from Austin, Dallas, and Houston. We're pulling kids from fucking Woodrow and Ellenville. Like, so if you want to go that route, like per square mile, like Texas Fury, like they're pulling kids. They're Texas Fury's the whole state of Texas, because they have leagues all over, right? So they're unbelievable. Nothing against them, but we're pulling from Eltingville, South Shore, New Dorp. You can't compare that. So pound for pound, I'm taking New York on the girls. The boys, it's not even a conversation. But on the girls, like I think our resume speaks for itself.
I said that to Clark when we had this conversation, that I felt like the West Coast teams are more state teams. Like Texas is pulling from a lot of different areas in that state. Conker's pulling from a lot of different areas in that state.
Well, Conker's pulling from their region, but they just have so many friggin' kids.
Apex is pulling from a lot of different areas in Arizona.
Well, there was
Like you
the one
said, you're
team
pulling
that
from
got disqualified.
Woodrow.
They were using kids from Hawaii to play in Las Vegas, right? So, like, the whole NFL flag thing is a little crazy, but I think, maybe we're not one, but maybe I'm biased, but at least we're top 2 or 3.
You got to be. Absolutely. Do you think if we sent one team from New York at every age group, you pick the best 10, the best 12 kids at every age group, do you think there would be any shot for anybody else to beat those teams? If you took the
Yeah,
best 12 kids from every age group,
there's one
do you think
football.
that would be, an unbeatable team or no?
There's one football, and everybody would have to understand their role, and I don't think it's realistic. I think we'd be a great team, but would be much better than our teams now. Not There's one football, only 5 people could be on the field, right? So it's like it's hard to say, but I think if you had a state wars where New York played Florida and everybody brought an all-star team, we would hold our own for sure. Like New York is not just Staten Island, it's New York. Like, you have, Staten Island's the mecca, I think, of flag football in New York. Like
100%.
Long Island's coming up a little bit. Like some of these teams have some athletes, but there's one football. It's 5-on-5. It's hard to say. With one ball and 2 12-minute halves, a lot could happen. But I think they could hang with anybody. Like I'm gonna say another example. 5-6 years ago, me and Brandon took a band of misfits and beat Team USA.
I remember that down at Flag Football Life Nationals
Yeah.
for the All-Star game.
Yeah, so, like, there's just so much not a band of misfits, but just a random group of girls. My
It
quarterback
wasn't a Team USA
no, it was a
team.
girl the girl didn't even speak English, and I was writing plays on I was using a Google
I remember
Translator
you
to get the
pointing.
plays.
She goes over there.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember
So,
that.
like, there's just so much talent out there, and it's like with the Team USA, like, everybody wants to be on Team USA. You can make 10 Team USAs that could all beat each other. Let's be not 10, maybe 5. So it's like, is it a little political, Team USA? I don't wanna say anything wrong because I have kids who are trying to get on that team, but they have their favorites, they definitely have their favorites, and I'm definitely not on that list, nor do I care. But they definitely those teams are predetermined. I'm never going to tell a kid not to go to a camp, but I don't think that kid's going to even get noticed because they're not on their list.
Do you
Like if
think
you're
that
not
they're looking for social
part of,
media?
if you're not,
Social media.
here's the thing: there's social media good and there's real life good. And I'm going to take real life good players over social media good players every day and keep winning like we're doing. You can keep all that social media shit. I can care less. I want real life players who could play football. Like, I don't care if you have 10,000 followers and you get all these likes. Who cares? When I've seen girls that have all this social media, they go in a game, they do nothing. Like people have created personas, which is cool because that's what certain people want for views and for clicks. But I want real football players who are good in real life, not in social media. And there's
I
some
think that's
kids
why
who are
your teams
social media
consistently
good.
win.
There's social media good and real life good players, but not many.
Usually, it's one or the other. When it
One
comes
or the
down
other.
to playing with other elite players, they get exposed.
Yeah. One thing about the Northeast that I've realized, our team, SIG, your team, our girls are too worried about what people think. They're not going to post their
Huge
picture
problem.
because
Huge
their
problem.
hair's out of fuck. If I post pictures on purpose, I'm sure you see my Instagram just to piss off the girls. And
Yeah.
I'll post their baby pictures just to be funny. And like these girls won't even you could look at Emily and Ava's Instagram. It doesn't even look like they play football. They're better than 98% of the flag football players. There's girls who have 50 offers that can't even tie their shoes. I don't see Ava have 50 offers. How's that make sense? Make that make sense.
Yeah,
It's
there are
because,
girls that have way more offers than Emily,
but
and Emily's
are they
top
offers
three.
or did you email a coach and he offered you? Like
I
there's
think
a
that's
difference.
what it is.
That's what's
And
real.
there's a
That's what's
difference
happening.
between a committable offer and a non-committable offer.
Exactly. Like even in boys football,
Like
they're
it's an
gonna
offer to play on the club team. It's not an offer for a scholarship.
so it's equivalent to I love it. I think it's great, but me offering you as a Division 3 coach, I'm offering you to play on the football team. It's no different than the guy from the chess club offer you to come to the chess club. What's the difference? There's no difference.
They have
So
a graphic.
until these kids are getting real scholarships and real money, they're not offers to me. It's great that the game is growing, but these kids aren't getting financial help to pay for college. They're getting an Instagram post that says you got offered, but you still have to pay your tuition. So like I want to see it where these kids are getting real scholarships, real money, like the boys are getting, and not paying to go to college. Right now, it's just for Instagram. It's not. They're not offers. They're not scholarships.
Yeah, you have to know what programs are actually offering scholarship
Like
dollars and
for
really.
example, a Division I football team will offer 30 running backs to play at their school. They're offering you. You got to go to the camp and beat out the other 30 to get the real offer. Like it's cool for Instagram. You want to get some attention. I
Yeah.
get it, but that's like the girls need to get these girls real money, not just some bullshit offer that you can come to my school if you pay the tuition, and if you have good grades, we'll give you a grant. No, you need to give these kids real money. If you, like, that's what really needs to happen.
And it's very difficult because, like you said, all these girls see is, oh, well, this girl got 9 offers, this girl got 10 offers, but none of them are actual dollars. It's just, hey, come play on this club team.
Like when they did that unrivaled All American thing. Remember they did that? I don't know if it was unrivaled. It's like football All American. And
Yes, that
all
one,
these
yes.
people, I submitted my daughter, 2.5, just to see if they would reply to me, and they did. So like that's how stupid it is. So like, some of the stuff is just money grabs. It's just crazy. Like we need to get these girls real scholarships to real colleges like the boys are getting. Like for example, they just had the tournament, not tournament, the All-Star game in Dallas. Ava Rotundi, Charlotte got invited. They had a great time, but what the boys got to what the girls got were just two
2
different
different
worlds.
experiences.
You're telling me
Yeah.
that every one of those boys paid for their flights to go there? No shot. The girls had to pay. So like they need like I get it, like WNBA, NBA, different animal, money's to be made. But when it's for the kids, they need to kind of keep it as equal as possible.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. I know you've put it out to your athletes for the NCFFL scouting combine. What we're trying to do is trying to get those girls opportunities in front of those colleges that actually have those dollars, that actually are recruiting and offering and giving scholarship money. It's not just colleges who have club teams. These are all varsity programs who are looking for athletes so that way they can offer them true scholarship dollars. And that I think that's what the difference is we're bringing that right to New Jersey and really getting those girls in front of those colleges where right there and then they can get a scholarship offer that could lead to some financial benefits.
Yeah, yeah, it needs to happen. Like these girls, like, I tell a lot of the athletes, go play field hockey. You're going to go to North Carolina, Rutgers, a real school with like eventually that's going to come to flag football. Like we need to send these kids to real schools to get real educations. Nothing against the NAIA schools, but having a paper that says you went to Maryland or Delaware is a little better than saying you went to Cotty College or any of these other schools. Like they're great what they're doing. They're the pioneers of the sport. But these girls they want it, like the best athletes that want a real education want to go to these real universities and colleges.
Absolutely, and hopefully in the next 2 years or 3 years, that's what's gonna change with the college level is they're gonna go D1 and you're gonna get the Clemsons and the Penn States and the Alabamas and all these, Georgia and these all these top teams. They all have club teams. I see them post all the time. Hopefully they switch to that varsity level where they can give those
The
scholarships.
fact that they have a club team means once it becomes real,
They
now
just transition right then
it
and there.
transitions. Like I was speaking to Sarah, she said the FAU, they go to all these tournaments, they go to Clemson here. They pay us a very small fee. I think she said nothing for me, like $50, but the school covers the rest. So it's like you still feel like you're on a travel club, a travel program, a university. You're on a bus, you're with the girls, you're wearing the jacket. Like that's cool. And I'd rather, if I was a 17-year-old girl, I'd rather be on the Clemson club team than some NAIA school in Kansas.
Yeah, some Bible school in the middle of
Yeah,
Missouri.
going to Bible study at 6 in the morning and then flag football practice, and then eating in like an elementary school cafeteria. No shot. I want to go to a real university, to real parties, dorms, frats, all that stuff. So eventually it's going to be there. I think that 2030, you will see this game explode.
Right after the Olympics, it's gonna be
It's going to
huge.
take like a year or two, but yeah.
I think that's going to be huge, and also, they're trying. From all the understanding that I have with the NCAA, they're really trying to get it to be a Division I sport by the Olympics. So I think the announcement of it being a Division I sport the same year the Olympics happens is what's going to springboard it to
Now
that
this
next
is what
level.
I heard that's could be a problem. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Every team in the conference has to agree to it. So if you go to the
No,
Big
that's not
Ten, that's not true.
true because there are already conferences that are announcing they have flag football as a sport next year that don't have any teams agreeing
Okay.
to it yet. So from my understanding, from talking to different conferences, not every school in the conference has to agree to adding that sport. What happens is the conference adds the sport, but not every team has to field a team. So you may have a conference of 16 teams and only 4 teams have flag.
Gotcha.
So it really depends on the conference. But that's why the NFL is stepping in and giving these grants to these schools to start the program. Because why would you not take 30 grand to just go start a program?
Yeah, no, of course, yeah.
So that's how the NFL is kind of battling the hesitancy of programs starting because again, the soccer team doesn't want it, the lacrosse team doesn't want it, the softball team doesn't want it because they're all going to lose athletes. So how do we get these schools to say yes? The NFL gives them 20 or 30 grand, and now the school has to say yes in order to get those dollars. That's the reason why the sport's going to explode better than anything else is that push from the NFL that you don't have in other sports.
Got it.
Now let's switch
But
gears.
where
This
are
is
the
a
good
topic
questions at? Where are the good questions?
the topic I really want to get into with you. You know how some of these parents, these players, these coaches have acted during these youth events. What do we need to do to change the culture in regards to that? Because some of the behavior at these events is a little bit crazy. So tell me what you've seen and what you think we can do to change it.
I just think that it's just the world's different, man. I'm not the best person to ask this question because I can get a little crazy, but it's just people are really like it's competitive. People are spending a lot of money. Economy sucks right now. People, they're scrapping dollars together to take their kid to a flag football tournament. And if little Johnny don't play and somebody got a hotel and this and that, they're gonna be mad at their coach. Yelling at referees. You get what you pay for with some of the referees. Some of the referees are there to collect a check. Some actually care. I'm definitely not the person to ask about treating referees. But I've had a lot of run-ins.
You've had
I
your
had one
fair
guy
share of
I had
yelling at
one guy from
referees.
Boston punch me in the face, but we're cool now. I forgot his name, but he's a good dude. So it's tough because people are spending so much money on this sport and people want to win so bad. And like they want to win this $5 ring so bad. And let's say it's cool to win the rings. I have 1,000 of them. It's cool, but like it's really about like developing, right? Like I could lose a tournament. I forgot about that. I'm mad for 5 minutes. I'll forget about it. I'm not gonna like change my phone number and do this crazy shit like some of these people. People are fucking
People
nuts.
go on and block you on Instagram and
Yeah. So like that, like listen. It's people are really intense. People are putting a lot of money into this, and everybody thinks their kid's going to be on Team USA or this team or that team. And there's nothing you could do. It's just the sports. Every sport's like that. It's not flag football. It's soccer. It's baseball. I think we're actually normal compared to like baseball and basketball. And it's just people are really like it's not like back in the day when I played. Like if I played, I was a good baseball player. If I played baseball and I went to like Carteret from Old Bridge, I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. If I went to like Sayreville, I thought it was cool, right? These kids are going to Florida twice a year, Texas. If I went to like Atlantic City to play baseball, you would have thought I was in the Mets. And like that's the difference. Like my parents never had to get a hotel to play a sport. I played baseball at very high levels and all over, and I never got a hotel once to go to a baseball tournament. Parents are shelling out money they don't have in a terrible economy, and just people get excited and people get upset if their kid's not playing, if they're losing, and that's just life these days. Everything's like social media changed the world, man, and COVID changed everything. And it's not the same world it was 10 years ago. Everything's very different. Like I always remember, like I was always been involved in sports. My dad's a coach, like always all stars, this, that, this sport, travel, this, but I've never seen anything like it is today. Like, yeah, people get mad if little Johnny didn't get his 3 innings and is at bat. Now it's like everybody wants their kid to be a quarterback or to be an all-star. Like, sorry, you're 5'2". Teach your kid how to play second base. He's going to be a quarterback.
right.
And like people just don't have realistic expectations, and they come from playing like a very low level style of football, and then they think that that's going to translate to this, and it's just that's never going to change. It's only going to get worse, unfortunately. Like I love listening to Greg Olson's podcasts. I'm sure you listen to
He's
them.
great with the youth
He's
aspect
unbelievable.
of it.
Sorry, I keep cursing, but he's unbelievable. And like even this Coach Leslie guy, and there's this other guy that I love, and like they really hit it on the head. Like it's crazy. Like it's just people are so into it. Like people are 8 years old posting rankings that little Johnny's the number one 8U player in the world. Little Johnny never met a girl before. Little Johnny didn't hit puberty yet, and he's the best 8U player in the world. Get out of here. Little Johnny's not even playing football when he's 11. So like all these stupid rankings and this and that, it's people are just living in this fantasy world. Like no high school coach, no college coach cares how many home runs little Johnny hit when he was 9. He wants to know how
None.
many he hit last year. And like growing up, you realize the best player when you were 12, he didn't even make his high school team. So there's kids on your team now that you're not even playing in 9, 10U that are going to be the best kid you ever seen. And that's what people don't get. Like, it's a process. Like, yeah, everybody wants to win. I get it, but it's a whole process.
Yeah, there is a lot to it, and parents get crazy. It's not good enough just to play anymore. They want their kid to play, and they want you to guarantee them touchdowns,
And I
and
get it.
it's
Like,
impossible.
everybody, it's like, I'm just gonna throw a number out there. Say we charge $1,000 and you get 10 tournaments, right? And like the best player is paying the same amount as the worst player, right? And guess what? You're not gonna play the same. Like, it just, this isn't rec.
It's not pay to play.
It's not pay to play. And unfortunately, like, if you're in close games, that kid might not see the field. Like, sometimes, like, you need those blowouts just to get these kids in a game and make them feel like part of the team. And that's the other problem. Like, everybody's paying and everybody expects the same. And are there kids that get overlooked? Of course. I've messed up and let kids go that were better than I thought. Like, it happens. So it's life. Like, not everybody's gonna get their fair shot, unfortunately. Like, you might see a player that you think isn't capable, but I'm like, oh, in my system, they might work, and vice versa. Like, there's kids that played for me that weren't good that came to you and they're great. I'm not going to name little kids names, but there's kids that didn't fit with you and vice versa.
And vice versa. There's kids
And
that
vice versa.
go
It
to
is
your
what it is.
program and weren't superstars here, and then they blossom into something that
Yeah. Or
we
there's
didn't see.
somebody that just needs a different atmosphere, like, you're going to practice 3 days a week. I'm not. Like, yeah, like, this is what it is. Like,
And
this is,
some players thrive better without that, and some
yeah,
players
yeah.
thrive better with it.
So, like, not every, like, I'm going to use Victor Cruz for an example, right? Like, Victor Cruz was one injury away from being a UPS driver the rest of his life. 3 New York Giants got hurt, and now he's in the New York Giants Hall of Fame. He got a shot, and he made the best of it. And that's what it is out here. Like, if somebody leaves, I don't get mad. Like, go. Like, you got to do what's best for your kid. No hard feelings. Like, there's some people that leave, and I'll tell them how I really feel. But there's other people. Listen, you got to do what's right for your kid. Like, you got to go there, and your kid's going to be a star here. Go. I don't care. We still have a beer, have fun. Who cares? There's kids who leave and they come back.
Absolutely, yeah. Everybody needs a different dynamic. Everybody needs a different set of circumstances to make sure that they thrive. And like you said, usually the kids that blossom older are the better kids. It's usually the kids who don't peak when they're 10. They don't stay at that peak until they're high schoolers.
Like, I'm going to use my 11U boys team for an example. My 11U boys are a good, last year, 10U, we won a bunch of tournaments. We did really well. Unfortunately, in the fall, there's no 11U. You have to play 12U. My 11U boys look like they're 11. We're out there playing against LeBron James. Like, so it's like, it's not fun for them, right? So, like, with that age with the boys, you see a lot of that. Like, a lot of kids are going to get discouraged. Like, I don't even want to put my 12U team, my 11U in 12U because it's not even fun. Like, we're going
And
to
in a
lose
year in boys is huge.
huge. And the girls is a little different.
Girls is
But then
much closer, I feel like.
if you look at 12U, I'm gonna use 12U for example, like Demi. Demi's unbelievable. So Warrior. Demi's this big. Then you have
She's
like
4'4",
a Callie or a Mila Ramos. They're still 12U. Like, that's
and there's a
crazy.
big size and strength difference.
It's crazy. And like Maya G. Maya G is unbelievable. She's 12U. And then Demi looks like Demi could squeeze an 8U game. So
Yeah.
it's like there's just a lot of people had really good birthdays. And like when they changed the birth date, it really changed the game a lot because it shuffled a lot of rosters. Like, I was put in a
Yes.
weird spot with a
Huge.
lot of teams. And like they did that like half a year. Remember they did like the half a year, like then they
Yeah, the
switched
odd age
birthday.
groups, and then they went back.
So like that's another factor that a lot of people play by grade. In New Jersey, a fourth grader is a sixth grader in certain states. So it's very different.
It's very difficult, and like you said, with that age group, it allowed a lot of people to squeeze into that lower age group, and now they're almost 13 playing 12U,
Yeah,
against Demi, who's like
if you have
11.
an August 2nd birthday, you could be almost 13 playing 11U.
You're playing Demi, who's 11,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that's almost a 2-year difference.
We have girls going to middle school next year, high school next year that are playing 12U right now. I have 2 of them.
Yeah, I believe I have 2 of them on my team as well, and that's a big difference between that
And then
and the
like if you
11U.
get a team that has 4 or 5 good birthdays, you're not beating them. I don't care how good they are. It's just you're not beating them off of size.
I mean, well, look at the Coulter twins, look at Mila, I mean,
I'm going to
they're
I want to talk
ridiculously
about the
skilled.
Coulter twins. I've known them forever. When about 3 years ago, they were good, but they're great now. And the reason they're great now is they don't play rec. They play 14U, they play 17U, and they play in every single tournament. They don't play in this bullshit rec league, get with their friends, let's build an all-star team and go beat up on the other kids. No. Ramos, what does Ramos do? Ramos goes and plays 14. Ramos been playing 17U since she's 4. Like it's that's why she's great. And you have kids that like, I get it. We don't have a lot of tournaments around here. Like, Massachusetts, they play a lot of football up there, but you need to challenge yourself. Like, you need to go play up. And like, if you want to play 12U, if you want to play rec, go play up in rec. Don't play your age in rec. If you're good at 10, go play 12. Take your
Play with the
10U team,
boys.
or what they did in Island Elite. They went and beat boys, right? They went and beat boys and older girls. That's how you get better. And the other thing that I would love to do, but I'll never do it, I don't think quarterbacks should play in leagues that don't play the same rules. Like you
It
want to play
doesn't
rec
help
with
them.
you want to play rec with your friends, go play wide receiver. But like, you start playing rec and then you're coming to a tournament, you're holding the ball, you're getting sacked, you have 6 seconds. It's crazy. So like there's a lot of things that people need to do if you really want to get to that next level. Yeah, it's just the one thing that's never going to change is parents. That's nothing that's ever going to change. Though that's not changing. It's only going to get
It's not
worse.
changing. That's not changing at all. Well, we were just on the topic of players. I want to get to a segment called From the Sidelines. This is a segment where our social media viewers submitted some questions. So we picked the best couple of questions from whoever answered on our social media story. So the first question is from Connecticut. Who's the best player in New York that's not on THT?
What age?
Let's say we'll do one from high school girls and one from 12U girls.
In New York.
In New York only.
Best 12U girl that's not in New York, that's not on THC, Maya J. And what's
She's
the
a
other
very
age?
good player. And high school.
In New York, you said though, right?
Yeah. Give me 12, 14 in high school.
All right. So we gave you 12, 14. New York, huh? High school, so
Yeah,
many.
you got Long Island Venom, SIG, Knights, Old School is from upstate New York.
14, I'll go with Jazzy. High school. Is Verified considered New York?
No, that's Jersey.
Jersey. You're New York.
Oh, they're Long Island verified, right? Is
Yeah.
that what they are? Yeah, so then, yeah, they would be New
Brooklyn.
York.
Brooklyn or Hev.
Yeah, they're very good players. They're both really, especially Heaven is really, really good.
SIG has some good players, but I don't know if they're Jersey, New York, so I'm just going to go with them to play it safe.
Yeah, they're
And
good.
boys?
Boys, yeah. Who's the best boys?
I don't know anything about high school. They don't have high school, so 14U,
No,
Chad
14,
Richardson.
12.
Chad Richardson.
What team does he play on?
He's on G-Men. And 12U, like there's really no 12U teams in New York. Boys aren't like girls. There's really no 12U boys teams in New York that I can even name a player, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Second question comes out of New Jersey and asks, what surprised you most, good or bad, in flag football? Or who has surprised you most, good or bad in flag football?
I've met some amazing people. Obviously, I've had, I consider you somebody, like we've had ups and downs. I have zero issues with you. We had our moments just like everybody else.
We're having an hour and a half conversation right now.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like there's people that I think everybody's in it for the right reason. Obviously you have to keep people close to you. You have to watch certain people, but just like the way some of the parents act and some people that you go above and beyond for. And that's what really bothers me. Like organizers, like, listen, people are going to leave me to go to you. And if there's blood in the water, you're going to attack, I'm going to attack. It is what it is. That's just the nature of the beast. Like we've never had like an argument, a falling out, whatever, but I never had that with Mike either. I've never really had that with anybody around here. I've never really had like any kind of like issue drama like that. Obviously we've taken players from each other, like people come, whatever.
It's part of the game. Yeah.
Part of the game. There's really no poaching. Like I'm never going to poach anybody. But if somebody reaches out to me, that's a different story. Just the way some people move that you've done a lot for, that bother me. Like people don't realize what goes into running an organization. Like there's $0 to be made in this. Like me and Brandon do this out of the kindness of our heart. Like I could shut this down and spend time with my family. Like
you probably save money too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I do this for the kids. Like people like to go sport fishing, golf. This is my hobby. And just the way some people act. Like I never get mad if somebody leaves. Just the way there's just some people are very entitled, and it really bothers me, the entitlement of some of these people. And it's like the people will run their mouth, and then the first person like shake your hand when they see you. Like I don't do that. Like if I don't like you, I'm just not going to say hello to you. Like that's how I roll. But it's the entitlement really what bothers me.
Next question is coming out of Massachusetts. Who is the best player on THT not named Emily?
Ava Rotundi.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody
pretty easy question. For 17, I can name 5 others, but for 17,
the best player in the organization, you would think outside of Emily that would be her.
Not even close. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why she's nominated for NFL Flag Player of the Year.
Yeah, she's on a different level. We have great talent, but right now, like if I was to do like a Mount Rushmore of THT, I would put her and Adri Cavallati on it.
I was going to say that was going to be my next question. Like, let's put the Mount Rushmore of THT all-time players. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of best players, boys and girls, to ever put on a THT?
I'd have to do a boy and a girl one. If I was to do a girls one, right now, people who have left, it would just be Sarah and Ava. And Sarah only really been with us for 2 years. She came from SIG, so I don't want to like claim her. But she wore a THT
But she
jersey.
did a lot for you, and she also won a lot of championships.
Right now, my Mount Rushmore has 2 spots. It's Sarah and Adrian Cavallati. And then
The OG, and
on August 20th, it'll be Ava Rotundi.
once Ava, you have to retire to get to the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, you have to be on, yeah. And I
So
think that one other player would have been there that just came to the game late was Dana. Dana, she was just late to she was just late to play.
Mercogliano from years ago.
Yeah, she could have been special. She came off a couple injuries, but she's somebody else that if we got her a couple years earlier, if not even we got her, if Flag was blossomed earlier, that's somebody who's really special to watch. There's so many of them, but just from who I've been involved with, those are the two that would be on the Mount Rushmore. As for the boys, you got to go like Alex Houston. It's got to be up there. I think everybody's like Lahara now that he's gone.
He's was ridiculous.
He is the greatest boy flag football player I've ever seen. He definitely, if he lived in Florida, I think he would be going to University of Miami. I just don't think he gets like the respect that he deserves here. He took his team to a state championship, lost to one of the best teams in the state by 1 point with a very small New Jersey public school. He was very good. And I'm trying to think. There was Jaden Melendez was very good. Nick Cosentino's still kind of playing because they're going to Disney, but
when he retires, do you think he'll be up there?
100%. Yeah, he's up there.
That is quite the Mount Rushmore. I know that.
Yeah.
People definitely want to get on that. It is prestigious to be considered one of the top.
I actually was playing around on
players.
ChatGPT the other day trying to make one with their faces, but it was just it was not working for me.
Yeah, no, that is prestigious to be one of the top 3 or 4 players of an organization that's won as much as you have, to be considered like one of the greats.
And we've had so many, like, Jess Finley played with us, but I don't really she's SIG. If she was true THT, she'd be on there.
Yeah, but she played most of her career in SIG.
Yeah, I don't want to she's SIG. I'm not gonna, she's like one of those players that 1 year left. They went for the money and signed the contract and closed out their career.
They went and won a Super Bowl and went back.
Yeah.
Signed a 1-day contract to retire over there.
Yeah, like Robinson Cano kind of went to the Mets at the end. Yeah, like Jess Finley's another one. Even Jade in the beginning was really good. Like there's just Jenna was so good. There's just so many.
I think
good
those
players.
girls would be on the SIG Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not claiming them. I'm not that guy. I'm not like going to take credit for other people like some people do. I would never do that.
No, but that's you had a lot of players there that did a lot for the organization, that won a lot of championships and did a lot of things.
Listen, we had a really good run with our little group in the 17U.
Yeah, those couple of years.
Fun run. We had a good run. We had some good tournaments. We should have went for it on third down. It still bothers me. And,
we shouldn't have done a backflip in the end zone.
Yeah, I shouldn't have let you do a backflip, whatever. But we found the random blitzer at the combine.
Yeah, that almost killed Razel.
Yeah, she was rough, that one, Kimmy.
But, yeah, she almost decapitated Razel and ended her career.
But we had a good run there. So
that was when flag was easy, when you could just hand the ball off and you score a touchdown every 3 plays.
Yeah, no, it's different now.
Exactly. Is there
what else are the sidelines got? Come on, they got to have better ones than this.
Well, it seems like there's some topics that you want to cover. Is there something that you want to get into?
No, I'll answer any question you ask me, though.
It seems like there's some questions that you want to get to. Is there a topic that you want to cover, or something that you specifically have in mind that you want to talk about?
No, but I'll answer whatever what people want to know.
Yeah, that Mount Rushmore was a big one. Continue on that really quick. I think Emily's going to take that 4th spot when she retires.
Yeah, for sure. And
right?
Then you have then you have the Arianas. We don't have to expand Mount Rushmore.
It's not going to stop at 4, right?
Yeah, no, it's not going to stop at 4 because
this is something that I want to know.
That's a special group, like that high school group that we have. Like that is like I don't want to do this much longer, right? Like I do it, I'm locked in. But like I want to do this with my daughter or soccer. Like I don't even think she's gonna play football. We'll do soccer or something. But like once that group ages out, I would like to just walk off into the sunset if I can. Like it's hard to walk away from something that you enjoy doing. But that high school group that we have from Ava Grace, who's really still 14U, those 2 teams are dangerous, and it's a great group of girls. Some are all in, some are there for what's convenient. Like I get it, they're at that age. But that pool of talent, and then I have like THT White, there's 2 or 3 kids on there that would start on most 17U teams. And I think we have a really great core of 17U. Our 14U, we're above average. Our 12U is great. Our 10U is good. And our 8U is on a roll. But
they're killing it right now.
8-year-olds, like 8's great. Like a couple years, you'll really see. But our 8U's killing it. Like we have a good little core going. Our boys now are not what we were in the days of when Izzy and them were here. Like the boys, Staten Island boys playing against Florida boys isn't usually going to end well unless you have like
it's
Izzy
tough.
It's tough. But I think that that high school group that we have, it could really make 2 teams that can compete at the highest level.
Absolutely, I completely agree. The next question comes out of New York, so I'm very interested to see who it was, but they want to know who is the best coach in THT currently and all time.
Brandon, it's not even a conversation.
I mean, his resume speaks for itself,
I
right?
mean, there's not even a close second. It's not even a
Yeah, his.
conversation.
Well, excluding Brandon, who would you say? Because it's
Anthony
his resume is
Martinez.
so far and above
Anthony
everybody
Martinez.
else.
Anthony Martinez. We
Yeah,
may butt heads and we do things very differently, but he puts in so much effort and so much into the kids and really pulls the kids over and tells them what they do wrong. And Kevin too. It's hard. It's hard. Kevin's so good too. I'm gonna just go with Anthony Martinez because I've been around him more, but Kevin's right there. Kevin's amazing what he does and his training, and he's got these little girls who are 3'7", 50 pounds, beating girls who look like grown women. So you can't discredit
I
that.
mean, how do you pick between two coaches who both have national championships,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Anthony has a world championship. Um, it's hard. If I had to pick, Anthony, I know more. I've been on this. I never been on the sideline with Kevin. Talk to him all the time, but I'll give it to Anthony because he's been there longer. But Kevin's right there.
And it's also the high school division, like you said, it's a little bit
Yeah, it's
tougher.
different, and it's a little
It's
different.
different.
But Kevin has these kids so prepared, like nobody else does what he does. Like
They
he is.
execute at the 11, 10, 11U division like a 14U team, which is
Yeah, like
rare.
they could play an average 14U team and beat them. And
Yeah,
he has so
they
much
could play one of the
energy.
lower level 14U teams
Yeah,
and come
I
out
don't
on
know how
top.
old Kevin is. Maybe I guess he's between 30 and 40 if I had to guess. He has so much energy. Like he gives it all in. Like he's like Martinez is more of like it's different when you coach a high school girl and you coach a 10-year-old. It's a very different mindset, right? But I think if Kevin coached high school kids, he would do just as well.
Absolutely. Last question. It seems like you've have a rivalry with a couple of different programs, specifically SIG in the last couple of years,
I don't
just
know if it's a
because
rivalry.
not that it's personal, but on the field, you guys both field good teams. You
It's kind of
both
like the
have
Giants
good
playing the
players.
Cowboys. We could both be 4-12, and it's going to be they could be 4-12, and we could be 12-4, and it's going to be a close game. It's just it's mental. Like there's teams we could beat a team 60-0 that they just beat them, and then they'll beat us. And it's kind of the
Yeah.
same thing with Athena. It's just you're going to have it's different. Like it's just like you're in the NFC East. Like it's a rivalry. Yeah, it used to be. Remember the back in the day with the Bruce
Yeah.
and you and Jace. That was a rivalry.
But
What
yeah.
cops were coming. Now I think those days passed a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think it's like the NFC East. I like us, Athena, Sig. I haven't really played you as much as I played them recently, but like those teams are just teams. Like you're always gonna have a game, no matter how up or down the program is. You're always gonna have a game.
Exactly. And the second part of that question was, do you think the rivalry is kept alive more so by the parents and the players? Or do you think that I'm sorry, by the parents and like the fans? Or do you think that it is a rivalry that the kids feel when they
I
go
don't
on the
think
field?
I don't think the players give two shits.
I don't think so either.
I
I think
think
they're
it's
all look at them, they're all doing TikToks after the game,
they can
right? So I
care.
think
They're all hanging out together.
it's more instigated by the parents and the
The kids can
fans.
give two shits if they win. Like I don't know. Like I don't think they care. The parents do. Especially like the OG parents. Like there's a lot of back and forth between THT and SIG. Like there's kids that are gonna play for us, play with that. It's just back and forth.
Anytime you're two great programs in close proximity to each other, you're naturally going to have rivalry. I mean, because you're going
Yeah.
after the same players, and you're both winning national championships, right? You both won an NFL Flag Nationals. You've won multiple. You've both been in the
Five,
championship game at
five, just in
SHS.
case you forgot. Five.
I don't think anybody can forget, but
No,
you
no,
both
no.
have been into SHS Nationals. You've won one. They've been there. I
Two,
mean,
two,
anytime
two,
you have
two.
that,
We won two.
you
Two.
have two.
We
So,
won two.
sorry. Anytime
But,
you have that, I think there's an opportunity for that.
yeah, no, like I talk to Mike as much as I talk to you. I have no issues with them. Like obviously, the parents, the fans, people don't like me. I really don't care. It's just people aren't gonna like me. They're not gonna like Brandon, how we are, how we carry ourselves, how the program is. Like people are gonna say, oh, they won because they're THC. No, we won because we scored more points than you. We didn't win because we're THC. We didn't get
Yeah.
calls. Deuce Dutch has never given me a call in my life. Like we beat you not because we're THC and not because we sponsor things. We beat you because we're better or because we scored more touchdowns than you. That's why we beat you. Are these
It
refs
used
the
to be a
best?
big point
No.
of contention years ago is that, oh, well, THT sponsors the tournament and they give Mike money and he, it's not so
That's
much
why I
now.
know
They
what
don't
we
say it
know. I no
anymore.
longer do that. I no longer do that. And guess what? We're still winning. We're
Yeah,
winning more.
more than ever, actually,
So,
more than in the beginning, right?
so like when people sit there and they say that, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh, they won because they're THC. No, we won because we're better and we scored more points than you. We're better that day. Are we better? No, but we're better that day. And guess what? We scored 2 touchdowns. You scored 0 in football. you win. And when people sit there and say that, I just laugh. I think it's absolutely hysterical watching these people with their posts. And like, there was a play the other day in this tournament where we were playing in FFL, and this girl caught the ball, fell, the ball popped out, and like, oh, they didn't want THT to win. No, you dropped the ball. That's why you didn't catch it. So like stupid shit like that, it comes when you're elite. People are always going to try to knock you down, but I just laugh at people like that. I actually enjoy that stuff.
Yeah, I think that talk has kind of died down a little bit from years ago. I remember years ago it was a big point. Anytime that we won or did well, it was that was always the conversation. And I wish people would
And then the
understand too.
funny
Like
part
this,
is we're still winning. They're different teams now. They've been on seven
they're not even
teams.
around anymore,
Yeah, they're playing soccer.
right?
They're playing pickleball.
They're playing soccer, pickleball, and you guys are still winning flag football championships. I mean, you didn't change what you did. They went out of business, I guess, which is
Yeah,
that's a big thing.
I really dislike that. Like when you're discrediting a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old kid, like, oh, you won because you no, we won because we scored more points than you. Like, that's really what it is. Like, do refs make bad calls? Yeah. Have we benefited from calls? Yes. Have we not benefited? Of course. Same with you. Like, there's days where I've gotten calls where I just looked at my other coach and be like, all right, we'll take that. And there's days where we were on the other end of that, and that's what it is. Like some of these people are just so bitter, it's comical to me. Like they're just so negative and they have so much hatred towards people. And it's like, oh, they won because they're THC. No, we won because we scored twice and you didn't score. Like, how'd the refs do that? Like I had a guy yelling at me the other day, oh, that you won because you're THC. I was like, bro, it was 33 nothing at halftime. What are you talking about? Like, what are we doing here? And people are just bitter, and they'll use whatever excuse they could to make themselves feel better.
What do the next 5 years look like for THT? You said you don't plan on doing this forever. So what is that? What is the plan for that? What does it look like?
I would like to stay until Ariana Emma's team, that group, her sophomores, age out. And then hopefully Tommy DeAngelis Jr. would like to take the torch, or Kevin, or Mike Anderson, or one of these guys. I'll always be involved in a capacity, but it's a lot right now. It's too much. Like I have to go to California. It's too much. It's not like it was. Like I don't even want to go to tournaments anymore. I don't mind going. Like I'll go for a couple hours now. You won't see me at the whole thing anymore ever.
Yeah, those days are long gone,
Gone.
right? Of the eight,
Yeah.
9 hour days.
No.
So your plan is to eventually promote one of those guys, hopefully
Yeah, I'll
to take,
still like run the
you
foundation.
know,
I would like to
of
get it to do
course.
like, especially with like the Panama thing, more international stuff. But as like day-to-day operations, I would like to groom somebody to like figure it out. And then I'll always help you and do everything.
You'll be
But
behind
like
the scenes.
I need to do stuff in my personal life. You can
Yeah,
only do so
absolutely.
much for people that aren't so grateful. And it's like, what are we doing here? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna go into a rapid fire round of just real quick answers. I'm gonna give you questions,
Go ahead.
and then you just give me your answer. What is your favorite part of running THT?
I enjoy like the GM aspect of it. Like just I enjoy that. Like I
Being
enjoy
like
that.
John Elway.
I love coaching and I love having fun with the girls. Like I'm not like a yeller. I like having fun, but I like organizing it and putting the teams together and stuff like that. That's what I enjoy.
What is the hardest part that nobody sees?
Dealing with ungrateful parents.
There's a lot of that behind the scenes, like the
Every
parent
sport. I'm
issues and
not saying
drama.
just us as a whole in
Yeah.
youth sports. That's the biggest issue. Yes.
What is one thing you wish parents understood better?
Not everybody is the same type of. Everybody has a role. Some girls' roles have never come off the field. Some girls' roles to come on the field when it's 28 nothing. And that's just everybody has a role. And if you understand the role and you're transparent with the players, you'll never have an issue. But not everybody is gonna get the same opportunity until they earn it and they prove themselves.
What's one thing that you wish people understood better about THC as a whole?
I think we're pretty transparent. I think people just don't like us because of our persona and who we are, and they think differently of us. But no, we're just regular people out there, just giving the kids a great experience. It's all about the kids. Like we don't do this to make a dollar. Like obviously, you know that. I could show you our books. Trust me, there ain't no dollars being made.
They're on
It's just a
fire, right?
lot of time and aggravation and gray hair, but it's just we do this for the kids. Like it's all about the kids. Like it really took off, and when we first started this, we never even charged people for like 3-4 years. We were just doing this out of the kindness of our heart. So it's just that's the thing. Like this, I know everybody wants to be a superstar, but there's a lot that goes into running an organization, and people don't get it. Like it's not like people are so set with rec or CYO. You sign up, you play, you go home. It's not like that here. There's travel, there's tournaments. Like we have to pay for tournaments in like June already. Like people don't get that. Even do like that part of registration yet. So it's like people don't get that.
That's the hard part I found about registration as well, is that you have to pay for tournaments 5, 6 months in advance, and you're trying not to take a lot of money out of their pocket. But
Yeah, and I
how do
know
we fund that?
if you tell me you're coming to a tournament, I'm not asking you for $1, you'll pay it. Just like me with you, right? When the time comes, we'll pay it. But not every organization, not every tournament's going to do that. So it's like, hey, like,
A
like
lot of them won't.
I missed all my teams for Jets regional. I didn't know. I set a calendar to sign up my teams the last day of early bird. None of my teams got in, but 17U. We've won 10U won
Yeah,
last year. They missed it. Like I didn't know.
yeah.
So like little stuff like that. Like yeah, like
I
this
just
is
signed
a
my own team up for a regional. I paid out of my pocket because we didn't collect from the
yeah yeah.
parents yet.
I
So I was
I have
like, "Oh,
parents
listen,"
doing that now.
I said, here's my credit card, $400. Like,
Yeah,
what am I gonna do?"
and the crazy
You
part
know?
is it's 400 now, and then it goes to like 700.
Exactly, which is why I was like, "Let me get in now. Let me," so I don't have to collect from the parents later. But here, I'll pay for 2 regionals now, and we'll figure it out later. But like you said,
Yeah,
I wish parents understood that part where, financially, you're not making money. It's very difficult.
no money, no. We're so negative, it's not even normal. But it's it's about the kids. Like you're giving these kids an experience. These kids are making friends. You're watching, like I'll just use like, like Kirsten, Emma, they're friends with these girls from Massachusetts, from Philly, and they're like TikTok and Snapchat, and they like have a great time together. And maybe one day they'll play against each other in college. And they're making friends outside of where they live.
That's huge. What is one thing that flag football needs less of?
It's less of? I don't know. I don't really think that they need less of anything. Less of bad refs.
You gotta talk to Deuce Dutch, top 5 dead or alive.
Here's the problem with the refs, right? Like you're gonna have refs that are there for a check, and you have refs that enjoy it. And I don't know what they pay these refs, but it's a 12-hour day.
It's
And
a
there's some
long day
refs
on their feet.
at the ninth or 10th hour that are going to hold grudges against you or just want to go home. And, they're going to hold, like, I've had refs that I forgot that I've cursed out that held grudges against me. I went to a tournament a couple weeks ago. I ejected 4 minutes into the tournament and I drove 2 hours to get there. And then it was such a bad ejection that Tom let me back in the tournament because the guy was so wrong. Like one thing I know is like rules, and some of these refs want to be there, and some don't. I think they do a good job with the refs, but they're not paying high school and college wages, so you're gonna get what you get,
No.
and you just got to do the best. These refs aren't gonna make every call; they're just not.
What is one thing flag football needs more of? What is something that we gotta see
They need more
more of?
sponsors. They need more vendors. They need more people putting money into the sport. So, like right now, there's zero. Like Oakley, they need more Oakleys.
More
Right now,
companies that are willing to
Oakley's the
invest.
only real sponsor besides like Jersey Mike's or Subway's, whoever does the sandwiches. But Oakley's the only real sponsor that's really doing things. And like, you think about it, you run a league in Staten Island. Who's going to sponsor your league that's going to benefit from it? Nobody. Unless you get like, like a pizza place, maybe.
Yeah,
So it's
like
hard, like,
local restaurants and
isn't it like a men's league softball? Maybe you get like, what's that place in Staten Island with the pizza that everybody goes to? It's like by like the Berry Homes, Lee's Tavern. Like a place like Lee's
yeah.
Tavern would like sponsor a men's league team because they know everybody's going to come after the game, right? But there's no sponsorships for these kids. So they need real corporate sponsors to put money into this or it's never going to grow. Like
What is the
look at
path to
OT,
that? What do you think the path is to that to getting those sponsors for,
the
let's say
Olympics.
a tournament series? What is the path to that?
Like if you look at OT7, for example, you know what OT7 is? So
Yeah, the boys
OT7
thing.
is ran by a marketing company and they have real sponsors, whether it's Invisalign, American Express, stuff like that.
Body Armor, I've seen them.
Body Armor, stuff
Gatorade.
like that. Like, so they need to get into that world and get real sponsors to do things like Oakley's doing right now. You go to like
OT7's production value is ridiculous. I mean, do you see the
OT7 is probably
commentators,
more than
the
a NFL playoff game.
yeah, I mean they have an unbelievable production value. They've got a ton of people that go out to those events. How do we get girls flag football at that level? Like, what is the path to that?
Olympics.
You think that's what'll change the
They need the Olympics. I think that that's the only way. And high schools, real colleges. But like you think about it, like have you ever seen a girls soccer game on ESPN?
No, not really.
Ever seen a girls softball game outside of the College World Series on ESPN?
Only college World Series for softball.
And then you'll see basketball here and there. So football is not even a sport yet. Like you'll probably watch a fencing game on ESPN 8 before you watch a girls flag football game. So it's a long ways away, but I think the Olympics is the start. And I think the boys flag in the Olympics is stupid. Like you have tackle football. Like what
Yeah,
are we
you
doing?
have Olympic tack or you have tackle in the Olympics, don't you?
Yeah, they don't tackle, but I think like men's Olympic flag it just doesn't make sense to me. But I think
It is the
everything's just
girls' sport. In
it's
my
a girl.
opinion, it
Yeah,
should belong to the girls.
yeah, absolutely.
Now the boys can play it obviously, and we're all for promoting boys and flag, but I
And
think at
I'm
an
really
Olympic level,
curious to
it should be
see
a girls' sport.
who plays on that team because just being in that AFFL thing and watching like the fighting cancer team come and beat Michael Vick and all these guys, I think if NFL players went and played Mexico right now that never played flag, Mexico would beat them
You really think so?
by 2 touchdowns. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
I'm surprised. I mean, I think it would be very high scoring. I don't know who would cover, if you put Jamar Chase out there, like who's going to cover that guy? you
No,
know,
I know
or
that's hard, but, like, they can't like,
I
your
think it would. I
DBs.
think they would go score for score because I don't think a professional flag team could cover any of those athletes, and I don't think any of those NFL athletes could play defense on the flag teams.
So when we did the AFFL thing, I watched Michael Vick play, Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, Seneca Wallace, Jason Avant, and these kids were hanging with them. You know, like Jason Avant was like a man child. Seneca Wallace was throwing a football like I've never seen before. Like you could tell like the difference. But when it comes to a little field, I really think if you took like, no, they're not going to send Justin Jefferson. They're going to send some washed up guys out there. You know, they're not going to send like they're going to send like
Or
Victor
some
Cruz.
bench players, you know.
Yeah, so I think that if Mexico played the USA flag and they beat the men's team. If they didn't bring current NFL players, they would lose.
Yeah, like current NFL stars. If
Yeah.
they bring the players off the
Like
bench.
if Tyreek Hill's rushing, what's Jose doing? But if,
Yeah, I mean the local garbage man is not going to get away from him.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
I think that's going to be big.
pull a flag? Could they cover without jamming? It's a
I don't
different
think
game.
defensively, I think it would be a disaster
How many
for the
penalties
NFL
they would
guys
get?
with no. Oh my god, they would kill people. The safeties going over
Yeah.
the top. I think defensively it would be a disaster, but I think offensively I don't know who could stop them. So I think it would just be a back and forth, high scoring game.
Yeah. I think the penalties would hurt them and it would be tough.
I definitely think there's an opportunity for them to lose.
The girls lost.
Yeah, the girls, the women's national team lost.
That's
Do you think that
embarrassing.
was the best? Do you think that was the best players out there, or do you think it was
No.
more political?
Political. Some great players out there, but there's some people that got left off that you scratch your head. But there's just like again, there's so much talent. You can make 10 teams, but it's just I think that it's hard to pick 10 players out of when there's 100 girls as good as each other,
It's very hard to say this one's that much better than that one,
Yeah.
or vice versa. Yeah, no, what do you think about the NFL league that they're gonna do?
I would love to be involved in that. I think if they do it like Oakley, it'll be successful. Where if you go like 3 tournament series, play everybody once 3 times, and that's your season, and then you have a playoff. I don't think people would watch it. I don't think you're going to have more people watch it than family. But I think over years it could build up to something. Like people don't even watch the WNBA, so they're not going to watch girls flag football. So I think that it's a process, but I think that if they do it right with the right sponsorship and the right media, I just don't think they can get people in the stadium to make it look like it's fun. It's gonna be like watching a COVID football game.
There's gonna be 4 people live,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that it could be long term. It could be something that's bigger than even the WNBA, I think, but it's gonna need time to grow, and people are gonna have to suffer through those years where there's like 6 people watching it in the stands.
yeah. It's like
I
that
think they
one
have to
league.
do it in
Yeah,
conjunction with other things. They have to do it in conjunction with the Pro Bowl or
yeah.
other events. I don't think they can do it as a standalone
They got to
event.
play it like Super Bowl weekend and give free tickets or something.
Exactly, and do like 4 games as part of their season, like Super Bowl weekend, Pro Bowl weekend, you gotta do something like that, and then have the Nationals by itself. I don't think they can do or even along with the pro tackle teams. I don't think they could do it by themselves.
No. You watched the Jets game yesterday? The Giants game had half the third of the stadium full. You think they're going to watch girls play flag football?
Exactly, and they care about the Giants,
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable. Well,
What else we got from the sideline?
yeah, that was it for the sidelines right now. I kinda
Nobody got any kahunas? Ask good questions?
no, not this time, but we're definitely gonna do a follow-up, episode with you. There's a lot of good topics here. I'm sure that there'll be definitely debates in the comments and people wanting to get more of your opinion.
I didn't
There's
really
a lot.
cross the line tonight. I was looking
No, you
forward
were
to
good.
crossing the line, but I didn't have the opportunity.
You were good.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing
No,
else you got? Nothing good?
and that's it right now. We're gonna keep it PG for this episode,
All right.
but we're definitely gonna come back and do another one at some point. So, Joe, thank you so much for your time, for all the questions, all the
Yeah,
responses
yeah.
that you had. 5-time national champion, 2-time SHS world champion, 3-time Zorts Sports national champion, and 2-time iFlag national
And
champion. I mean,
5-time Beast of the East, back to back to back to back to back.
5-time Beast of the East organizational champion. You want to
Yeah,
add
yeah.
anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Anything else from your trophy case?
We're good. We're
100,
good. We're good.
100 championships. Joe, thank you so much.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate
Yep.
it.